All right, everyone, welcome into the Go Stadium. Alliances were formed, teams were forged, battles were won and lost, and it all comes down to this. We are at the GOTeamUp Worlds Championships. Two teams are competing. One team will be victorious. I am your host for today. My name is Speediest Chief 2. I am joined by two of the best casters in the business. Welcome in Holesome and KiengIV. Gentlemen, how are you doing today? And welcome aboard.
Doing wonderful, Speedy. Really glad to be back here. We had a wonderful semifinals, really fun action here, casting with you guys and seeing some of these great battles. And happy to be back for the finals. Excited to see what happens here.
Yeah, I've been looking for this since we saw the semifinal results. The two amazing teams advancing to the finals, and I'm very curious on who's going to take it home.
Absolutely. We were here last week on the Go Stadium channel reviewing some of these previous matchups. Two teams rose to the top. The Cool Cats and the Chicago CornDogs are rising up here, trying to compete for the first ever GOTeamUp World title. Whoever comes away from this will be the first ever winner of this competition. GOTeamUp is a bright beacon. It's a light in the world of team PvP format battles. I think it is the premier format for this kind of PvP experience, and these casting gigs have just been so amazing. I love watching these competitors just go at it, some of the best talent in all of the world. Before we get into the actual battles, though, let's take a look at the rule sets, because there are some specific guidelines that these battlers have to follow in the GOTeamUp tournament. Similar to previous GOTeamUp tournaments, teams must build 4 teams of 6 Pokemon with a total of 24 unique Pokemon, which means no duplicates. Azumarill and Galarian Stunfisk are banned and may not be included on any team, as you see there on the bottom left corner. Each team of 4 players may have up to 1 restricted Pokemon on their team of 6. A team of 4 players may not have more than 4 restricted Pokemon among the 24 total, and no team of 6 Pokemon may have more than 1 restricted Pokemon. So as you see down there at the bottom right, the restricted mons are some of the top meta Pokemon available to trainers these days. We do see Medicham, Altaria, Deoxys, Cresselia, Umbreon, Mandibuzz, Bastiodon, Swampert, and Galvantula. A lot of these teams build really solid cores. We see the Psychic and Dark core very often. We see a Swampert Flyer core very often as well. But these restrictions have put in place limitations so that it's more difficult to build cohesive teams and compete at a high level in this format. So the GOTeamUp World Stage is a bit different, but every GOTeamUp does include bans. These teams have either won or placed very highly in previous GOTeamUp tournaments to earn their invitation to GOTeamUp Worlds. And as we have moved through the bracket, 2 teams, again, have risen to the top. So let's take a look at the bracket and recap a little bit of what we saw last week. As we see here from the top to the bottom, we do see the Chicago CornDogs with Barnabas up there being the team captain, Munchlax and Chill, Cool Cats, Caleb Ping, the team captain for that team as well, and then the Elite 4 down there at the bottom. These are all extremely talented trainers. You might recognize them. They are very, very prominent in Silph and GPL, top of the leaderboards, meta breakers, content creators. These trainers do it all, and they are here on the biggest stage for the team tournament format as well. Gentlemen, these battles last week were really exciting. Can you just talk just a little bit about some of the highlights that you remember?
Yeah, top to bottom, I think we had some really good battles. Especially at the end. What a way to end the stream, right? We had a huge, incredible comeback from the Cool Cats down to their last member, and going up against Arrow, double down Arrow, and able to pull off the 4-1 victory. So, that was incredibly exciting here. We saw some really nice catches. We saw some really nice teams. Some surprises, right? Some individual instances where you look like your back is up against a wall and you have no fighting chance, and you find a way to win a battle. Like I think we saw that one with Alpha Phoebe getting all the lead wins and being able to still get a counter. I think it was maybe Barnabas that pulled up that incredible comeback victory. So I'm expecting more today, more of those incredible battles, more of those scenarios where you think there's what could this trainer possibly do, and they still find a way. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it was really fun to see which teams, what members were selected for the double down, and how that panned out, either to their advantage or ultimately to their disadvantage. and I'm looking forward to seeing these 8 incredible battlers in the finals go at it. But I think before we're going to the finals, we are doing the third place, which I'm looking forward to as well.
Yeah, most definitely. As King just mentioned, we are going to review the Elite Four versus Munchlax and Chill. We have a couple of battles here for you, and the double downs are included in those battles. So one of the aspects of the Go Team Up format is the double down. It is a team-based format, but as I was talking to Polymers Up, I learned more about why they implemented the double down system. It's because normally when you do a team format, everyone goes out and they do their battles and you report back your wins and losses, and maybe you do a little bit of practice here and there. But the double down, it draws in every member of the team. They look at the matchups, they give their opinions, they kind of weigh the cost benefit. Like King said, try to get your best players in good positions to earn you twice as many points. Each win is a point, and if you're the double down, you're earning twice as many points for each win. So it can really swing matches and try to win the actual set for you.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that last week with some individuals that are lined up as the double down, getting 3 wins, translating to 6 points. That's more than anyone in a non-double down scenario can even achieve. And on the flip side, if you're only winning 1 game, well, that's not really great value when it comes to the double down. So when they're going through these teams and they're looking at their matchups, they're trying to be strategic and understand not only who is my best battler, but who might have the best matchup when it comes down to the individual Pokemon as well.
Exactly right. So before we get into the third place competitors, we do want to take a look at some clips from last week. We had a lot of exciting moments. Let's go ahead and take a look. Miss Mystic, take it away. Hundreds and hundreds of teams have competed for a spot in the Go Team Up Worlds format, but only a few teams were invited, and we are in that stage right now where these 4 teams stand on the precipice of immortality. The first ever Go Team Up Worlds winner will emerge.
We are seeing some of the best battlers here showcased here on the Go Team Up Worlds. I want to see some.
He lost again!
Jesus!
No way! Is this the 3rd game in a row he's gotten the boost?
Catches the nice flash.
Very nice catch there.
Yeah, the Gliscor is not a good match.
My God!
He's a Thunderbolt come out. Okay, very nice patience there from Abadab. I think throws 1 or 2 extra counters just to get to the Thunderbolt.
He went for Stone Edge Bait. Wow, really?
So going to go ahead and shield this up to get the second lunge, which will hit for super effective here. Is the lunge on the Registeel, however, very nice play from Burnibus. And this next discharge is not going to...
Oh, the combo! Here it is!
Got
What a play here by Burnibus. The Switch Clock comes up, able to get to this body slam here. No lunge debuff whatsoever, takes it out. Okay, and has some residual energy here on the Registeel. Registeel almost at a move here. Keen Bart coming through with another victory here, taking the Chicago CornDogs up to a 10-8 advantage. Chooses to let it go!
Wow! I love the fast swap there. You gain a couple inches with the lock-ons, and then you cube the Focus Blast, and he's not ready for it.
Very nice counting by Keen Bart, is able to get as much extra energy as possible before making it to that Dark Pulse. Going to have a decision here from Gaston. To the Dark Pulse. This is huge. Keen Bart now having to invest a shield here to secure the switch advantage. All right, immediately bring the Bastiodon first. This is the worst case scenario for Twastel. Immediately swapping out, and we see the cast form come in.
Here comes, I'm sorry, Holesome, but we might see a roasted Venusaur here. I know you've been rooting.
This is a roasted Venusaur. This is absolutely a roasted Venusaur. It's going to go down.
Oh, pulled the trigger too fast.
Not able to get enough energy to get to the foul play there. Caleb saying, I don't care if you're baiting. I'm going to outpace you, and I want to get to this avalanche and KO the Scrafty there. So there you have it. Caleb coming back 2-2 now.
Honestly, that pop by House Stark was genius. Onto the Machamp.
A little bit of chip damage.
He saw the Machamp. He knew he's like... He's probably game planning that whole time, knowing that was going to be the kill.
Gotta throw the weapon ball.
Thundershock down.
The energy ball. Oh man! If you get a defense drop here, is there any way that a weather ball is going to take out the?
This is about 25%, 30%. Oh my God! Think way more.
He doesn't have the energy. Thundershock down. Wow.
Does he have the move? Oh! Get there! Oh man! What a game!
Ace is in the driver's seat in both lanes. Highway, barricading Toshi for victory.
Are we going to see a farm down? Huge pick. GOTeamUp.
No way.
What a heads-up play. Incredible battling skill from GOTeamUp here. Really nice count.
Wow.
The Brave Bird, having the Altaria able to now farm down both Mons. This is over. Nicely played by GOTeamUp. Nowhere to go for Valor Ash.
Wow.
Bringing us back to 8-8 here. Oh, catches the rock slide here. Nice play by Valor Ash.
No, the second incinerate. Do you no shield this? And then just incinerate down?
There it is.
That's what
Just
we're
sacking
doing.
it. Just sacking it.
Absolutely insane game plan here.
Absolutely brutal
I
here.
think this is over. This Talonflame is just in too strong of a position here. Oh yeah, it will. That aerial ace does more than I was expecting.
Combo.
Aiming for the body slam in time. He goes
It's a body slam. Caravel and Arrow are all tied up at 11 each. Whoever wins this next game is going to decide who advances to the championships.
All right, the final deciding game here. It's all come down to this.
Up a shield.
Another move here, and it's going to have to shield.
I don't
Hasn't revealed the Reggie at this point, though, right? For Caravel. What a comeback here on the side of the Cool Cats. They were up against the wall here, having Arrow, the double down user, when already up points. And just, wow, 4-1. We said that was the win con, was the 4-1. Caravel comes out, pulls off the win. This is incredible.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, chat, last week was insane. So many awesome plays, so many hype moments. I can't wait to see more of those moments this week. Gentlemen, that was so much fun casting with you last week, and I can't wait to do it all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those game plans and plays were just absolutely incredible. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of those and seeing who comes out on top.
Yeah, what a hype tournament it's been already, just in the semifinals here. Now pressure is on. We're in the grand finals. I mean, imagine the journey that some of these battlers and teams have made just getting to this point here. Pressure is on and really looking to see how these folks perform.
Most definitely. I think we're about ready to get into some battles, though, chat. If you are hyped to see the Elite Four and Munchlax and Chill throw down, let's see it in the chat. Let's see some emotes. Let's see some spam. Let's get hyped, guys. This is awesome. We do have, it looks like Polymers Up versus Toshi as our first pairing, Munchlax and Chill and Elite Four, respectively. Two of my good friends and incredible battlers, the Clockmaster versus Toshi. Gentlemen, taking a look at these teams, what is your first impression here? I think we've reviewed these before, but maybe some new things will come to light.
King, you go ahead to start.
Yeah, no, I think it's some really polarizing Pokemon on both sides. So I'm looking at the Malmetal. Does have some strong matchups against the Skarmory, against Clefable, and has superpower for Shiftry, but obviously loses hard to the double counter users and in the Unova Stunfisk. So I'm curious on how both these players will play it out. I know Polymers really likes the Defense Deoxys, and I think it has reasonable play against this entire team. Obviously, a few Pokemon that has to be wary about.
Absolutely. We saw a lot of Deoxys defense from Poly last series. And if we look at Toshi's lineup, it has pretty neutral to strong play versus almost everything. I would argue probably the hardest counter there being the Alolan Marowak. One of the Pokemon that I wanted to see from Poly last time that I don't think we saw any action from was Shiftry. Shiftry loses hard and wins hard to a lot of these matchups here. Whiscash, right? Very dominant matchup. And then going up against something like the Tropius is quite a bit harder. Now, if you look at it, Shiftry with energy really turns into a monster, even versus something like Altaria that quickly chips away at its health with Dragon Breath and can hit super effective with the Sky attacks. With an energy advantage and proper baiting, that Shiftry can absolutely still take out that Altaria. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Poly's going to be able to bring out here. We did see some play from the Machamp as well as from the Clefable as well, though that may have some different strategies here versus Toshi's team, which does have some strong counters there, absolutely.
I agree with your assessment, Wholesome and King. I think you make some really good points. Shiftry with energy can be really deadly. Whenever you look to gain energy leverage on a Pokemon, you look for farm down opportunities. And as we know, Snarl is not the strongest move, and you are going to take some damage from all of these Pokemon while you're trying to farm down. So let's see how these trainers manage their energy. Polymers is the clock master, and he's also very, very adept at managing his energy. We are looking at his perspective there on the left side of the screen. Without further ado, I think we're ready.
Game number 1, let's go. All right, so Toshi bringing in the Tropius, Polly immediately bringing that Deoxys defense, probably one of the safest Pokemon that he can have. I don't know that we're going to see a switch out here, though we do see the confirmation of Air Slash that Toshi is running here. King, I think we'll just see some rock slides coming out here from Polly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is expected that Polly would bring the defense Deoxys pretty, and it's good that matching up with one of the flyers. We do know that Toshi does like to run double flyers. I'm not sure he would lead a flyer and then have one in the back, but we'll see how this matchup plays out.
What's interesting for Toshi is that knowing that Polly has the Rock Slide on the Deoxys, it does make the Melmetal matchup a little bit better, not carrying that Thunder Shock that is the only non-resisted charge move there. All right, so we do see a switch out here, quite nice one here for Toshi, in that we have the Clefable coming up against this AWAC. AWAC resisting these charms quite handily. And the one nice thing that AWAC has versus what you guys were seeing last week versus the Wigglytuff is that there's no normal typing that resists the ghost moves for this Fable here, so that these Shadow Bones are going to be hitting for neutral damage and hit quite hard. AWAC here has a very dominant matchup. Decides to shield the keep its health and in the yellow rather than going down pretty low. We'll see what Polly brings back in here. Neither of these are necessarily good matchups. This AWAC here he's kind of triple weak to AWAC when we I
think that's part of the reason he brought it. Yeah, as expected, Polymers does go for the Psycho Boost here, which is enough to KO.
Trying to force the second shield here, which we do see. So Toshi is now down 2 shields, bringing in the Skarmory. We'll live this, but you got 2 shields. I think you're going to need to invest one here. Let's see if we see a bait. Go straight for the Shadow Bone. Okay.
No shield too.
Defense drop.
That's tough. These super effective fire spins now absolutely chunking. At this point, you have to shield so you don't lose all of this energy. I think we will see Polly will be able to farm down. Goes with the bait, though. Are you going to be able to make it to another bait move?
I think that's wise because you forced the shield.
With this defense drop, I still don't think the Bone Club will KO, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a shield come out from Polly. He says, you know what? I'm going to hold on to it. I know I survive. Going to keep all of this energy for whatever you bring back in, which looks to be the Whiz Cash come in here. Goes ahead and throws, I think that was the Sky Attack, King, yeah?
Yeah, that's definitely the Sky Attack.
Okay.
Clock is almost up, but...
Ooh, this is going to be a very big farm down, which is much more doable thanks to the defense drop earlier on from that Shadow Bone. Otherwise, probably would have been a little bit harder to pull off here. Double Sky Attack, not enough here. Toshi in a pretty nice position here, although Polly does still have this shield and does still have the Deoxys here. Should be a Mud Bomb coming in here.
Yeah, this is a good no shield because the Leaf Blade does do more, but honestly this... Oh, okay.
Gets to the move. You got to shield this one. This is really, really tough here for Polly. He's got maybe...
I think Polymers just wins this, doesn't he? Doesn't he just double Psycho
I think he wins because of all the energy, but this is a tough spot. You're very, very low.
Yeah, I really like him throwing the counter in the middle of the Air Slash to get the energy, but not to register the damage. And he's just going to be 1 away or 2 away. And the Psycho Boost is enough.
Psycho Boost. He has probably 5 HP between his 2 Mons left at this point. But you know what? That's 5 HP more than his opponent. There you go. Toshi going down. Polly picking up game number 1 with the double Psycho Boost to end things up. We saw some imbalance of shields there. Toshi choosing to use shields right away, despite having the AWAC that was countering almost all of Polymer's team. Polly able to use some very creative use of all 3 Pokemon to chip down Toshi's team. Really good game number 1.
Yeah, honestly, the Psycho Boost, I think one of the hidden or like subtle components was obviously the energy management, but throwing the Psycho Boost at the Alolan Marowak and then switching out, conserving the energy, not going all the way to the rock side and throwing, and knowing that he needs to cycle the energy later was absolutely brilliant.
Well, we saw the same team that Polly ran last week with the Deoxys defense, the Skarmory, and the Clefable. Nothing too shocking there. Something that Toshi was probably thinking about early on and chose to bring the AWAC, which I think was a smart play. If you're Toshi and you're trying to pick up the second game here, King, what do we think that he needs to make from an adjustment perspective?
Oh man, I'm not. To be honest, if you're looking at Toshi, you're wondering how you lost that game. I'm gonna be honest.
Agreed.
Right? He had almost the right alignment. He had the lone Marowak that was good against all three Pokemon. Right, he got the defense drop. Like it's gonna be pretty tough for him to make adjustments. Polymer almost played that game basically perfectly.
One thing I'm a bit curious about is that I think that the Polytoad might have a bit more play than that Whiscash there, especially being able to throw non-resistant weather balls versus that Skarmory versus those resistant mud bombs, having to build to that very high energy non-stab blizzard move. So that's maybe one potential tweak we could see. But yeah, Speedy, any comments before we move into game number 2 here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the key moments in game 1 was seeing the air slash come through on that Alola Marowak when it threw the Bone Club, because if the move doesn't come through there, I think the Marowak gets the Bone Club, Fire Spin, air slash, both 3-turn moves. Skarmory gets KO'd. The Marowak is in a position where the Deoxys has to counter it down. That would have been really, really brutal. So just like you gentlemen pointed out, Polymer's extremely calculated. He saw the air slash go through. He knew exactly how to play it, and like King mentioned, he played it just about as perfectly as he could. A lot of the time when you have two Pokemon with similar typings, like the Whiscash and the Politoed, you kind of divide up their roles. I think that the Whiscash with the Blizzard asset is really good against flyers. It's really good against some grass types. If you can begin to rule out that Shiftry, maybe you don't need the Whiscash, as you mentioned, Holesome. Maybe you can go with the Politoed. You're still going to hit all the same targets that you want to hit. Maybe you just have a little less resistance to the Stunfisk. So these are kind of concepts that these players are going over in their minds as they're picking out these Pokemon. As soon as we saw the Deoxys come out in the lead against Tropius, my first thought was, is this where you want the Deoxys? And just like King mentioned, landing those rock slides on the Tropius is really helpful. But if Deoxys has a more important target that it needs alignment against, maybe you look for the swap there a little bit earlier. But either way, I really like the first battle. Let's get into game number 2, Polymers and Toshi. Let's see how this goes.
I think we're going to see a similar team from Poly here. Immediately comes in with the Skarmory. Brings in another flyer here from Toshi, this time the Altaria. This is, despite resisting all of the moves, the Skarmory does get whittled down pretty quickly here from these Dragon Breaths, being a very, very oppressive move. Slightly outpaces this Altaria here. Chooses to go ahead and throw the move. Altaria being patient here, knowing that it can tank a move, especially a Sky Attack. Did build up to the Brave Bird just for a little bit of extra threat, but let's see what Toshi decides to do here with the Altaria. Oh, good timing on the throw there for sure. I think maybe forced the CMP.
Yeah, it looks like he threw slightly before the.
You see a shield from Poly. Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
You guys notice that he chose to bring the Machamp this time versus the Clefable? Maybe he's thinking that, hey, that Toshi's going to bring the Melmetal, and I'm going to have a really nice matchup. Ooh, gets the air slash.
No shield.
Enough to KO.
This is big.
Yeah. I'm assuming that Toshi has the Alolan Marowak that he's going to look to farm down with, which will be quite dangerous. Yeah, here goes. Yeah. Oliver's just saying he just doesn't care about how dangerous the Alolan Marowak is to his team. Gets extra counter through, which is actually really nice.
There's nothing on his team that just outright has no play versus the AWAC, right? I think we saw kind of a committee taking out the Marowak last time, and I think that's the strategy again here for Poly. He's going to try and chip it with some different mons here, knowing that the Deoxys might actually go down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We get a shield from Toshi there, guys. Toshi did choose to double shield his AWAC last time. This time, let's see if Poly wants to try and get another shield from Toshi. I think that the thing you have to be worried about here is that you might get farmed down. He's going to try and... I was thinking maybe go for the double Psycho Boost to try and get a shield and get some chip damage, but it looks like he's going for this rock side, trying to secure this last shield from Toshi. What is Toshi going to do? Double shields the AWAC once again. We are out of shields here, folks. Going to get a nice farm down here from this AWAC. Yes, the Psycho Boost is going to hit. It will not KO the AWAC, however.
Yeah, it should only do about 30% to the AWAC.
Okay.
This is... I'm curious on how Polymers will play.
This is tough because you have no energy on the Skarmory, King. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then...
I think you got to throw a Bone Club here. Yeah.
Oh, man. Does a Bone Club KO?
No, but he's going to get one more fire spin. If he's counting, he knows that he can get one more.
Oh,
He chooses to
Yeah.
play it safe, though, King. Yeah, I think that kind of in
Yeah.
Toshi's mind there, he says, I don't want to let this Skarmory, no matter what, get to a move. I need to get all of this energy out here. So chooses to go ahead and throw the Shadow Bone and has another Shadow Bone ready for the Machamp. That hits so hard. This is not looking great
Well,
for Polly.
looks like in between rounds, Toshi took your advice. brought the poly.
Switched out the Flyers and brought the Poly this time as well. So you know what? Still very similar team from a role perspective, right? Albeit this time things went a little bit differently. I think at that point we did see Poly, although he did have a move, knowing that he's not going to be able to KO that Polytoad with the cross chop, choosing to let Toshi go ahead and throw the move and end the battle right there. So we have 1-1, very close battle so far. Munchlax and Chill versus Elite Four.
Gentlemen, let me ask you this. Since we've seen the Marowak and we've seen the Politoed, do we see a Stunfisk come from Polymer's side in Game 3? What do you think?
You know what? I think that Paulie knows that Marowak is going to be coming, right? And even things like Shiftry, they still takes it still takes super effective damage from that fire spin, and AWAC does not die to one foul play either. So if I'm in Paulie's seat, I'm expecting Toshi to bring that. If he thinks that he can't win without that Stunfisk, then it's probably a smart play to bring him, right? What we saw there is that AWAC double shielding Toshi, it went a lot different this time. He got incredible value out of that AWAC, and once shields were down, just throwing Shadow Bones all over the place and really just sweeping the team once he had that energy advantage. I think yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think one of the keys to that match, which I'm not sure we pointed out, or maybe I missed it, I think Polymer's actually had the Rock Slide on Deoxys half a turn before the Marowak threw the Shadow Bone, so definitely could have thrown that, not had to burn the shield, and then the Alolan Marowak wouldn't have come out with so much energy versus the...
You're saying that he shielded the Bone Club, low HP there?
Yeah, I think he had the Rock Slide half a turn beforehand, but I might have missed it. So I think he had it before and chose to do the extra counter. So I think that ended up being pretty costly for him in that matchup.
Yeah, I think if I'm Toshi, I'm still sticking with the double shield my AWAC strategy. I think that worked out well for him. I think it could have actually secured him a victory in game number 1 as well. However, I think that Paulie did a good job there. So I don't really know that we're going to see anything different. That Clefable still a bit of a liability. I think that Deoxys Skarmory core are very, very strong overall. I think it's really going to come down to what the third Mon, if it's going to be the Clefable, if we're going to see the Machamp again, or if perhaps to Speedy's point, we bring the Stunfisk. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. I think Polymer's really kind of snatched game 1 from the jaws of defeat. He was able to achieve victory there, but Toshi really kind of doubled down on the Marowak in game 2. Let's see how these trainers adjust, because this is a best of 5, so these trainers will continue to make adjustments and try to predict the other one as these games go on. So let's get into game 3.
All right. Deoxys lead once again versus the Marowak. Nothing shocking here. I think for Paulie, he's probably going to be staying in. Let's see what he has in the back this time, though. We see the Shiftry come in, so we did call that core between the Deoxys and the Skarmory, and this time has the Shiftry, which, a bit of we'll call it a counter for sure for AWAC, but it's kind of difficult to get him lined up right here. Paulie doesn't have the alignment that he wants, but will most likely threaten a shield here from this Rock Slide. We do see the shield. King, do you think you switch out and preserve your Deoxys at this point if you're Paulie?
Yeah, he tried to.
He reached for it.
Yeah, he ended up shielding. So let's see how they play this out.
Gets to the second boss right here. This one will not KO, but would leave the AWAC quite low. We've seen the double shield on the AWAC time after time here for Toshi. Chooses to bring in the Shiftry. Okay, this is interesting here. Brings in the Altaria, which, yes, is definitely a counter here. Look how much these foul plays hit for, though. With an energy advantage, this Shiftry can absolutely do some work. We're going to have to see what this Altaria play is. A lot of folks like to let the first foul play go and then shield the second one here, but I think that, oh, wow, Paulie able to make it to the second foul play before Toshi is able to get to a sky attack here. The question is, oh, wow, was that a CMP?
Yeah, it definitely was CMP.
Poly
Just-
choosing to let this go, getting some nice value out of that Shiftry, able to mostly take out the Altaria and setting him up for a big farm down from either Mon that he wants. Most likely, I think the Skarmory is a little bit of the safer play to probably get 4 or 5 air slashes through.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, so he gets to 4 air slashes. A 5th air slash gets him all the way up to a sky attack there. That is a nice farm down. Even gets one through right there. All right, let's see what Poly does here. Knowing that the AWAC here is already low, but does have energy for a Shadow Bone, chooses to shield it up. All right, going to come out of this matchup with 2 air slashes, chooses to throw the sky attack. If you're Toshi, I don't think there's any reason that you want to shield this. Keep your shield for the back matchup, and let's see what ends up happening. Toshi decides to bring in, here it is, the Politoed once again, very spammy Mon, has access to Mud Shot and Weather Ball, able to get there in 8 turns, which is 4 Mud Shots. Very spammy Mon. Poly, though, very nice. You guys noticed he was able to get to 2 air slashes and still get a move off before this Politoed can KO.
Yeah, I'm curious on what Toshi's game plan is here.
I think he throws a double Weather Ball and then tries to maybe have a little bit of some residual energy to take out this Deoxys.
Yeah,
Although
he's gonna have to throw it right now. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice throwing in the middle of the air slash so they couldn't switch out.
Good
I
counter.
don't think this Deoxys has much energy, does it, King?
I don't believe it has very much,
Yeah,
if any at all. But the Psycho Boost might be enough to KO here.
I think so. You have to get. He's going to survive this Weather Ball, and I think that 1 Psycho Boost is going to do it. But he has the energy for the Earthquake.
Yeah.
Poly hangs on with 1 HP, literally 1 HP. Over farms 1 counter, albeit still able to get to the Psycho Boost. Is this going to KO? Let's take a look here. Boom, we get a KO. Toshi going down. Poly hanging on with 1 HP and a dream, as Ionic would say. Great win from Poly.
Yeah, I really love the technique at the end to throw the 1 additional counter before throwing, knowing that, well, it's always scary when you're facing a Politoed on whether or not it has a charge move, but knowing that it doesn't have a charge move and you don't want to debuff your counter just to secure the win, a very nice play by Polymers.
Let's get into just some detail here, King. If you are Toshi in that scenario, obviously you want to try and KO in 1 shot if you can with that Earthquake. 2 Weather Balls, however, is that the same amount of energy as 1 Earthquake?
So two Weather Balls is 70, right? And then 1 Earthquake is 65.
Right.
So in Politoed, I believe definitely win CMP versus Defense Deoxys.
Yeah, I don't know that. I think Toshi thought I can't get to 2 Weather Balls here. I got to try and KO with this Earthquake. And unfortunately for Toshi, was not able to KO. Leaves him just with 1 HP and able to secure that Psycho Boost for the victory. Very well played by Poly, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just 1 more Mud Shot. It was
Down to the King 1 fast move, right?
Yeah, it's difficult to keep track of how much energy the Defense Deoxys has, right? So when you're in that situation, I've certainly myself made the wrong call playing Politoed many times, like where I should have went Earthquake or should have went double Weather Ball.
That is very difficult. Later in the game, it is hard to keep track of energy, especially when so many swaps have occurred, and you have to remember how many counters the Deoxys has. It can be really taxing mentally. And as the set goes on, too, 5 games, my gosh, by the end, you're pretty much gassed.
We saw the Poly versus Poly. Poly on Poly crime, we can call it. With
Awesome.
Polymers up, able to secure the victory there. So, Speedy, any comments here on the teams or reactions before we move into Game 4?
No, I think you gentlemen called it correctly. I feel like with the Politoed matchup, my question, I was going to ask King as well if you didn't ask him, if the double Weather Ball would have been the play there. I think if you win CMP, maybe it's a play, but it was really difficult to call that late in the game. Toshi went for it, and I think the effort was valiant there. We looked for a farm down opportunity with that Shiftry into the Marowak. We talked about that before we started the sets. You have to get energy on the Shiftry to get it rolling, and I felt like he attempted to do that with that Marowak matchup, maybe trying to catch the Shadow Bone as well to preserve the Deoxys, but he reached for the swap early on, but was unable to get there. So I think that also affected the matchup. Maybe, maybe made things a little more difficult for Polymers, but he still pulled it out in the end. Gentlemen, I think we're ready to advance to Game 4.
Let's do it.
Let's see if Toshi can get a victory here.
Alrighty, let's see if Toshi can tie it up here. Bringing the Clefable here from Poly with the Tropius. Not necessarily a bad matchup here. I think that Toshi is thinking that, hey, I've been bringing this AWAC in the lead. Maybe I try something different here that'll allow me to preserve it, perhaps have a good matchup in the back and be able to sweep like he did in game number 2.
This is a very interesting team from Polymers. Does get the extra charm through, which is these are really chipping. Toshi's going to have to dump both Leaf Blades in order to try to KO, but getting the extra charm through, Polymers knows the account's exactly able to get this Meteor Mash off. This is probably a CMP tie with Toshi, who's actually really favorable for Polymers. Yeah.
Switch there, I think. I think tried to catch the Leaf Blade and preserve the Clefable, but due to the CMP, like you call it, King, not able to do it. And
Oh, he's in a shield.
the Leaf
Okay,
Blade.
interesting.
So that we do see the switch come out here, brings in the Deoxys. I think this trophy is probably going to try and chip away a little bit here and get to a Leaf Blade before Polly is able to get to the Rock Slide here. King, if you're Toshi, do you switch out here?
I think it depends on what he has in the back. If he has a more favorable matchup, or just going to force this defense Deoxys to dump energy. Really nice timing on Polymer's side.
Yeah,
to
big
throw.
over farm, getting there just before that Toshi's able to get to that Leaf Blade. And that what that means is that next matchup that he has, he'll already have an energy lead. Okay. So we do see the AWAC come out here. This Deoxys has some energy, and I think might be able to get to 2 Rock Slides before Toshi's able to get to 2 Shadow Bones.
Yeah, I think depending on so I think you don't shield if you're Polymers at this point in time.
I think that he knows that he's about to get to that move and going to throw it just before he gets to the second Rock Slide. Paulie knows that Toshi's going to be counting here, so decides to get some additional energy off. However, what this means for Toshi is that he can get some additional fire spins through, being confident that, oh, interesting play.
Ooh, okay. I'm not 100% sure on that play from
He's already
Toshi's
high
side.
energy though, King, right? I mean, you don't want to just keep over farming. I think he chooses to throw a Bone Club, knowing that he'll get one more fire spin and be, at 60, 70 energy versus just over farming a ton. This is scary though, because Polly's close to a Psycho Boost here, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about here, is that he's only one counter away. But do you risk it? I think you call the Bone Club here and then throw the Psycho Boost. You call the Bone Club.
The Bone Club does come through with a Shadow Bone.
He had to call it in order to have.
So we haven't seen what's in the back from your Polly at this point. I think you have to respect the Shadow Bone, knowing how much energy that AWAC had. Yeah, I don't think you can farm down at this point, but you can absolutely over farm a little bit of energy here.
Mhm.
Okay, has the Polytoad. This is not a great scenario here for Polly, but 2 cross chops is probably going to be enough to KO the Shadow Polytoad. Let's see if he's able to outpace 2-1 Weather Ball here.
He needs one more. No,
Ooh, that extra mark shot.
I don't know if he survives this though. These Weather Balls, they hit hard. Shadow Poly.
Ooh, okay, no, definitely
Takes
does
him
not.
out. There it is.
Okay.
Even if he hung on with just a thread there, that AWAC, those fire spins, they still chunk. So tough spot for Polly there. Toshi able to bring it back 2-2 on the back once again of that AWAC. Okay, nicely played.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Polytoad's spam there really come through for Toshi in the end. I was concerned about that late swap. I feel like you give that Machamp an energy advantage, and then you late swap into it. If you reach that first cross drop and then CMP for the second, I could see a scenario possibly where Machamp pushed that matchup even further. But Toshi able to really squeak out a victory there with the Polytoad. This time, this Poly gets the better of the other Poly, right, Holesome?
This Poly got revenge. You're right. The one thing I noticed there is just that sort of damage in 4 mud shots, right? 8 turns, being able to just, yes, it's a Shadow Machamp. Yes, you are a Shadow Poly. But in 8 turns, being able to pump out 60, 70% of your opponent's HP, talk about an absolute monster.
Absolutely. I'm not. I think the shield against the Tropius. Once Polymer's got the Meteor Mash off, I think he should have just took the shield advantage, and then tried to carry that to the victory, knowing that there's a very high likelihood of the Alolan Marowak in the back, and looks like Speediest is trying to go into the future to try to make a prediction.
Sorry, I tried to take a sneak peek.
Yes, Speediest, who wins this game?
Absolutely.
So
Go ahead,
here's
Holsome.
one comment. From Toshi, what are we seeing commonly? We are seeing Flyer plus AWAC and Poly. For me, the solution to that is the Shiftry. I know that obviously pretty hard counters the Poly, and I would say soft counters the AWAC. The game that he brought it, unfortunately, it was aligned to the Altaria, so not able to get full value out of it. If I'm thinking, hey, I'm going to run my Deoxys, hey, I'm going to run my Skarmory, which we've seen in 3 out of the 4 games, I think Shiftry is going to be the answer, but it all comes down to where that Shiftry can be aligned. If it's lined up against the Altaria, it can chip, but it's going to be hard pressed to actually win that matchup. But I still think that Shiftry in the back may work out nicely versus Toshi's team.
I definitely agree. I was really confused by that Clefable lead in Game 4. That was a little bit interesting to me. I wasn't exactly sure what the objective was there, but I trust Polly. I trust both of these trainers to make really good team comp decisions. So we are now heading into the decisive Game 5 for both of these trainers, Polymers and Toshi. Are you ready, gentlemen?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Polly once again leading the Deoxys, and we see the Altaria come out from Toshi. Nice for Polly here, having the Rock Slide here. I think can take this matchup here, depending on how we see the shields get utilized. Able to get to that Rock Slide here in 14 turns, and then I believe one fewer counter the second time around. So let's see how these trainers want to let this matchup play out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we see Toshi choosing to shield right away. Already chipping down this Deoxys with those Dragon Breaths and brings in the Skarmory. But you know what Toshi has waiting in the back? A Fire Spin user here, Marowak. I would say a nice counter, but with Polly with his energy, King, I think he survives a Shadow Bone here.
Yeah, he easily survives the Shadow Bone here.
Do you just go Brave Bird after this and say, ooh, that's still a lot of farm?
I think he's gonna. Oh, he's gonna go straight up Brave Bird.
I don't think he was gonna make it to double Sky Attack. I think he was gonna be one air slash short. So I think that Polly recognizes that and says, "I'm gonna throw the Brave Bird, get maximum value."
Yeah,
and we see Toshi once again already investing both shields before Polly has invested any whatsoever. But what do we see? Ready to go this time. It is the Shiftry. As we called out, Shiftry has very nice matchups here versus that Politoed, versus that AWAC here, and able to get it aligned. It does resist the Bone Club as well as the Shadow Bone here. Polly choosing not to shield the Shadow Bone, the resisted move here. I think that he's going to make it to one more, though, before Polly is able to get to this foul play. Oh, I think tried to catch, maybe? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm curious on this game plan here. I actually personally would have went Defense Deoxys into the Marowak, but preserving these shields for Shiftry at the end is pretty.
What this means is that this Shiftry is going to end up getting lined up against the Altaria, which is not great for Polly. I think that you wanted your Shiftry lined up against that AWAC, and then maybe understanding that you're going to have to chip that Altaria later on. This is a bit of a tough scenario, although Shiftry does have energy, and as we talked about, Shiftry with energy can potentially sweep these teams. I mean, it can throw a foul play versus the Altaria, foul play versus the AWAC, and then potentially, well, let's see what happens here. This is getting tough. This is getting really tough for Polly.
Yeah, this is really. Oh man. Okay.
Right, gonna ride or die here with the.
There's no way. There's just
Fire Spin's doing ridiculous damage. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think I actually really like. Oh my! It actually did get.
Let's see what happens here. He is not in foul play range. Not even able to get to the foul play. Unfortunately for that Shiftry there, those Fire Spins just do too much chip damage, not able to get to enough energy to secure the victory. So we see it, Toshi winning 3-2, taking the advantage for Elite Four versus Munchlax and Chill. The Shiftry having some nice matchups, still unable to get lined up versus that Politoed, though. Very aggressive swapping strategies there from Polly. King, what do you think about that battle?
I think Polly tied to foul play at the end, but he ended up just fouling out. Right, so but I think the Shiftry was definitely the right Pokemon to bring in the end of that matchup. But I think bringing the Defense Deoxys into the Alolan Marowak might have been slightly better than hoping to bait out the Altaria, knowing that there was going to be a Water type in the back, and then trying to close it out with, especially since he knew the Politoed had an Earthquake. Right, had like virtually no play versus the Shiftry. I think it was unlikely that Toshi was going to just show his third, and then was going to bring the Altaria and kind of fight it out. And I think he would have ended up closing out that matchup pretty nicely. But obviously, he went to try to farm up a little bit of energy, absorb the move, try to come with the two shields, but unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough.
Well played by both battlers. GG's.
I agree. Absolutely. I think there were two major factors there in play. I think you wanted to look for energy advantage with the Shiftry, and Polymers had the table set. I mean, he had 2 shields to Toshi's 0. He had potential, like King mentioned, to bring in that Deoxys to handle the Marowak and try to close strong with Shiftry. That probably was the stronger play in the moment, but it's so hard to know in these critical situations. Game 5, you're trying to fight here for third place against one of the best battlers in the world. It's very, very difficult. A second point I wanted to make is in terms of team composition, sometimes the fast move pressure can make all of the difference. If you're struggling to close out some matchups, maybe it's because you don't have enough fast move pressure. We saw the fire spins from Marowak and the Dragon Breath from Altaria was just too much for the Shiftry. No matter how many snarls it gained energy advantage, or no matter how many shields it carried either. Just the fast move pressure was just going to be super, super oppressive. Well, with that, we're going to jump into the next pairing here. We have Gaston Augustin versus Valarash. This is actually a rare occasion, gentlemen, because we have both trainers are the double downs for their respective teams. What is going on here with these team comps? What do these teams see that they think they can get an advantage here?
Yeah, absolutely. Talonflame, let's just say Talonflame here for Valarash. Oh my gosh, has some great matchups here throughout. The one hard counter that we kind of see there is probably Gaston's Jellicent, right? But otherwise, has some nice matchups. It will depend on the moveset for that Ninetales for sure. I think that influences a lot here. If I'm in Gaston's position, I think that Powder Snow is going to be the better move. Just knowing that there's the Talonflame and the Venusaur that could potentially come into play here. Despite taking super effective damage from Flame Charge and Incinerate, Powder Snow A9 can definitely fight back with the Weather Balls, hitting for neutral versus that Talonflame. Overall, I don't really see anything that just has a terrible matchup for Valarash's Galvantula as well, right? I think that in pretty much every scenario, it's either hitting super effective or neutral. So I think that it's a pretty interesting pick. The one thing that I'm fully expecting from Gaston will be that Jellicent, just in response to the threat of the Talonflame, which maybe makes me think that Galvantula is still a really strong pick to help counteract it. But I'll go ahead and let King make some comments here.
Yeah, this Galvantula looks super strong. I'm very curious on what the decision for the double down on both sides are. Like, what do you see on Gaston's side that's super strong or gives them leverage on because this is a pretty both teams feel like they have the advantage, and I'm curious on what the logic is. I do like the Galvantula on Valarash's side. Probably its worst matchup is the Ninetales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean that depending on the energy advantage, the Vigoroth with the body, Body Slam spam can definitely do some work. And we've seen Registeel, despite all its moves being resisted, all of its charge moves being resisted, just due to how frail the Galvantula is, in a shields down scenario, Registeel can still take it out. The one interesting pick here that I see from Gaston's side is the Zapdos. It has, I want to say, for the most part, pretty neutral matchups across the board. There's things that it's threatened by that can also hit back super hard. So I'm going to be curious if we see any Zapdos play. But seeing what we saw from Gaston last week, we saw a lot of Jellicent, a lot of the Mandibuzz, or Flying Umbreon as it's also known as, the Vigoroth, and the Registeel. So I'm curious to see if we see any A9 or Zapdos action here.
Absolutely, gentlemen. I'd really love to see some Crustle play as well. I know that sounds a little bit funny, but you do have the Mandibuzz, the Zapdos, and you're going to be throwing those smackdowns against Ice-type Alola Ninetales, which I think could also be pretty interesting. Whether or not we see it, I'm not sure, because I assume Vigo is probably a good play for Gaston as well.
Crustle has some tough matches versus a couple of these here, right? Like you said, it has there's 3 things that get hit super effective from just the fast attack damage, right? So definitely has it's very 50-50 for who it ends up getting matched up against. You definitely don't want to see that Registeel if you are a Crustle. Even the Vigoroth can do some work there with the.
I'm curious on how bad that matchup is, because it does resist the doesn't it resist the Body Slam?
It does resist the Body Slam with the rock typing there, yeah, for sure.
So
I don't know that we're gonna see a Bulldoze come through, but we'll see.
Absolutely. Well, Chad, I think we've done enough analysis. We're ready to see some battles. Get your predictions in. Gaston versus Valor Ash. Both trainers are the double downs for their respective teams. Whoever wins this matchup, there is no question that this team will claim third place in the Go Team Up Worlds tournament. So let's get right into it. We're seeing from Gaston's perspective there on the left side of the screen versus Valor Ash.
All right, I'm saying Talonflame and Galvantula from Valor Ash. Let's see. Hey, there it is, the Galvantula. Immediately coming up against the Vigoroth here for Gaston. Resisting these counters, though, able to get to these body slams slightly faster than the Galvantula from Valor Ash here. These body slams definitely doing some nice neutral damage, some nice stab neutral damage coming out from this Vigoroth. And Valor Ash respecting the damage, choosing to shield, already up at 4, I believe, volt switches here, so 1 volt switch above the move. Let's see if he chooses to throw the discharge or the lunge.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to throw straight. Oh, interesting. Switching out right away. Oh my gosh, okay. There is the
Well,
cross.
that's what you like to see if you're Valor Ash, for sure. These smackdowns just chunking. But very spammy Pokemon here. Like we said, we were expecting the Powder Snow, probably the more preferred moveset, knowing Valor Ash's team. Still able to get to 2 of these moves here. They hit for nice neutral damage. I don't think this will quite KO the Crustle here, and we did see a Smackdown come through here. If you're Valor Ash, do you want to hold on to switch advantage? Let's see what happens here.
Well,
He's going to push it.
Oh, okay. Able to throw the move with 1 HP. Let's see what Gaston wants to do. Do you want switch? Chooses to let it go. I wonder if the X Scissor would have KO'd there, to be honest. I don't know. It is a resisted move.
yeah, I'm not entirely sure it would have, but you'd have to come back.
Crustle should not have a move here. Gaston able to take it out with the Vigoroth there. Nice neutral counter versus the Crustle.
Yeah, you kind of just pray if you're Gaston. Oh my gosh, that they bring out the.
Here's the Talonflame. All right. So, yeah, 2 very strong picks here. Has the Bubble Jellicent. I think that the Bubble is a smart play, but like we said, I think Valor Ash recognizing that, hey, I have to have something that can KO this Jellicent, knowing how strong it is versus my Talonflame. And here's that answer right here. With the switch advantage, able to get the Jellicent lined up versus Galvantula.
That volt switch coming through is pretty bad.
Oh,
nasty.
yeah.
I think
Valor Ash smartly saving the shield here, getting that volt switch through. I think either way, probably going to get that farm down, but takes 1 fewer bubble due to it here. And has the energy to win CMP here. Oh my. If you're Gaston.
This is so bad.
All the lunge, okay.
Yeah, this is not looking too great for Gaston, right? I don't think there's really too much to say in this matchup. I think that this Galvantula might even just straight up beat the. Okay, no, it doesn't. Okay, a little bit of saving grace there, but 1 Incinerate, it's gonna.
That's gonna do it. Yeah, I don't know about the no shield there. I probably would have shielded it myself, but I don't think that there was a chance either way. I think that you know, one charge move from the or 1 Brave Bird most likely there from that Talonflame would have done it. Whereas you probably needed at least 2 body slams there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Chat reacting to my barking dog. Yes, that is Biggie Smalls, my wonderful dog barking at the neighbors. All right, so we kind of called that, Speedy, right? We said the Talonflame and the Galvantula looking really, really strong. We saw from Gaston, you know, saying, hey, I need something to counter that, brings the Jellicent. Unable to align the Jellicent to the Talonflame, however.
Absolutely. So game 1 in this format is always a scouting mission. You want to see what your opponent's trying to do, what their game plan is, what kind of mons they bring. Just like you mentioned, Holesome, we saw teams of 3 from both trainers kind of get just a window into their thought processes and how they think about these teams. We also saw some moveset reveals. We did see that Alola Ninetales with Powdered Snow. We saw the Jellicent with Bubble, like King pointed out, and we did see Shadow Ball as well. It is quite rare for a Bubble Jellicent to bring Bubble, Shadow Ball, and Ice Beam. We normally see that Bubble Beam bait paired with that moveset there. So I think we got some valuable information from these trainers. Mason didn't really reveal a lot. The Talonflame, Galvantula, and Crustle are all pretty standard movesets from what we saw, but we did get some additional information from Gaston. So going into game 2, what would you gentlemen like to see?
I think, well, just to comment on the movesets, I think for Gaston running, he did have the Ice Beam, you said, Speedy, right?
No, it's Shadow Ball and Bubble Beam.
Oh, it was Bubble Beam. Well, if I'm in Gaston's perspective, I know it's too late at this point. I think that the Ice Beam is probably the more preferred moveset, just knowing that Venusaur could definitely hard counter. might have expected that the Venusaur is not going to come out due to some bad matchups with the rest of the team, perhaps, and says, "Hey, I don't need the Ice Beam because Shadow Ball is going to be hitting, neutral versus everything else that I'm expecting." Now that said, the Ice Beam obviously nicer versus the Swilus, obviously nicer versus the Venusaur there, but maybe just saying I'm not expecting that, and that's what influenced some of the moveset. If I am Valarash, I'm going with what worked again, right? I think the Talonflame and Galvantula are very, very strong. If I'm Gaston, I still think I need the Jellicent. Vigoroth is pretty safe, but I might try and switch things up and bring something bulky like that Mandibuzz or perhaps the Registeel to try and absorb some of that damage. But it's tough. It's tough for Gaston here.
Yeah, I think if I'm Gaston, I'd play a little bit more disciplined, stay in that lead matchup, knowing that if you don't win the switch, then it's going to be pretty rough.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're about ready. Just a reminder, chat, as these trainers win games, they will be awarded 2 points for each victory as they are both the double downs for their respective teams. So Mason taking game 1, earning 2 points, putting the Elite Four at 5 overall. Munchlax and Chill is at 2 overall. Let's see if Munchlax and Chill can mount a comeback here.
Alrighty. Brings the Vigoroth this time versus the Talonflame. Not the worst matchup versus this Talonflame here. You definitely don't want to have that 8. Well, the A9 can kind of fight back. Realistically, he kind of brought all the Mons that might have some play versus this Talonflame here, which I think is pretty smart, but Vigoroth is probably the last one that you want, especially King. Did we just see an Incinerate go through there?
I was hoping that Gaston would throw at 7. Because he just gave up a full Incinerate.
I think that what you either do is you throw at 7 so that you get the move off prior to that last getting the maximum amount of counters, or you try and get that 8th counter and just let him throw. But yeah, unfortunately, let that go through. Not as optimal as we wanted. Okay, well, I think if you're Gaston, you're happy to not see this Galvantula up against your Jellicent here, which I think is good news for him overall. See if he can perhaps get that Jellicent lined up with the Talonflame in the back here in a little bit.
Whoa, okay. Both surprising moves on both sides. Honestly, I was not expecting the lunge, nor was I expecting the shield. Both these players doing almost completely opposite of what that was
okay.
Quite surprising.
So at this point, you do have the 2 shielded Talonflame that you can get a lot of energy here. Gaston does have, is able to hit back here with these Weather Balls and has a little bit of energy. Talonflame already has energy. Gaston choosing to let this Flame Charge go. I think this is all the energy that Valarash has, but he's going to get one more Incinerate off. The question is will he be able to make it to the Weather Ball? No, Gaston does not make it. That's very, very tough for him. But you know what Gaston has is the Bubble Jellicent ready to come in, start doing some super effective fast attack damage here, and really only having to worry about the Brave Bird.
Oh, he's definitely going to Brave Bird here.
All right. Gaston having this last shield. Brave Bird does not... It is a boosted Brave Bird. It would do quite a bit of damage here. At this point, Gaston probably can farm down, but Valarash using to wisely swap out here, this is a nice counter, not having the Ice Beam. Although, Speedy, have we seen the Bubble Beam come out yet?
This is the Bubble Beam reveal. Mason decided not to shield. He knows his counts. Comes in with the Vigo here as well. I like the move to debuff the Dragon Breath before the swap.
I think it's a good play as well. I think he's trying to save his Jellicent there to line back up versus the Talonflame. Hopefully be able to get another Bubble Beam off before it's able to make it to another charge move. Yeah, the challenge here, though, is that you're out of shields as Gaston. This Zwilus here is still plenty healthy. One Body Slam, likely going to KO or at least let you farm down. Chooses to go with the Dark Pulse regardless. And if you have nowhere to go now with this Jellicent versus this Zwilus, all of your moves that are going to be hitting for resisted damage. And yes, you can debuff it a second time, but Valarash is going to make it to this Dark Pulse here, which is going to be close to enough to taking out this Jellicent.
Yeah, I think he's just going to wait for the clock to come up, right? And just going to...
Bring in the Talonflame?
Yeah, just going to switch out here. And then the Zwilus wouldn't CMP.
I'm a bit worried that he's going to farm down, but no, he does make it to a move here. Okay. We'll have to see if this is the Brave Bird or the Flame Charge. Should be the Brave Bird. There it is. Takes out the Jellicent. Confirmed counter Talonflame to Jellicent there. Really nowhere to go at the end there. Valarash, I think, smartly predicting that, hey, I have another counter to this Jellicent. Let's just bring 2, right? We know that we didn't see the Ice Beam come out there. Now that he knows he has the Jellicent, if I'm bringing in my Talonflame, which I know has great play versus 5/6 of Gaston's team, and then I bring 2 counters to the hardest counter, that being the Jellicent with the Galvantula and the Zwilus, I don't see really any play here for Gaston now that Valor-Ash has kind of cracked the formula. It's going to come down to alignment for sure.
Yeah, I think it was a very questionable shield on the Alola Ninetales on
Mhm.
Gaston's
Lunge
side.
there.
Yeah, well, didn't
Would
even
have survived the discharge regardless.
yeah, it would have survived the discharge, knowing that they had Valor-Ash had a loaded Talonflame. Would have been nice if it would have got to the Weather Ball, because it likely would have KO'd or at least threatened the Talonflame, but it would end up being a little bit too strong at the end, and burning that shield was a little bit too costly.
Absolutely. I think Valorash's team looking like a well-oiled machine through 2 games. I love how he has each of his Pokemon set up the next one for success. Talonflame comes in, it applies that Incinerate pressure, it strips shields. Galvantula throwing the debuffing moves. Getting these extra Volt switches is also really, really helpful because it puts you ahead on energy and allows you to kind of play around the situation that you're in. Even if it's unfavorable, you can find ways to flip these matchups. So as we see here, Elite Four with 7 points, Munchlax and Chill with 2, Mason taking 2 victories. Valor-Ash is ahead by quite a bit, but there's still 3 games to play. Let's see if Gaston can win 3 in a row here.
Absolutely. Alrighty, Gaston choosing to bring the Mandibuzz, wanting to get some bulk here. Right? Okay. Does not bring the Jellicent this time, which is a bit interesting. I think Jellicent is the one thing that we know is countered by, or that counters that Talonflame pretty hard, but maybe choosing to say, hey, I know there's going to be 2 counters to my Jellicent, so I'm going to try and bring something that's a counter. However, this Mandibuzz is not a counter to...
Oh my gosh, it wasn't even CMP either.
Yeah, getting 1 Volt Switch
Oh,
there is
God.
really, really, really tough here. Every Volt Switch is that's just a ton of energy. 3 moves, 3 Volt Switches to a move. That's 33% of a charge move just by letting one through there. Okay, brings in the Vigoroth here, but not going to be able to get to a Body Slam before this Vigoroth is able to fire off what's most likely going to be a lunge here.
Yeah.
I love that Mason puts the Mandibuzz within KO range and then anticipates the switch and holds his energy. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what we saw there again? Another Volt Switch coming through.
I think that was
Volt Switch is almost a full charge move that Valor-Ash has gotten here now. Knows that is going to be able to get to this next move before Gaston is able to get to another Body Slam. We do see, I think, an extra counter go through there, but that's not quite as valuable as an extra Volt Switch. Wow. Okay, I think he's 1 Volt Switch away from the next move, too. He's going to probably get there in time and maybe threaten a shield here before he gets farmed down.
Oh, interesting decision to bring...
We're seeing fast moves go through left and right. Oh, my God. All right. Knows that Gaston has to shield here. Properly throws the lunge. Will he be able to get to 1 more? It's going to be close right here. Oh,
I like that play.
Big snipe.
Oh, okay. All right.
Gaston. I think that in Ultra League, I think that Ninetales can actually win the 1 shield here. I don't know about in Great League. All right, let's go. Neutral damage. These Incinerates chunking. Able to make it to the second one here before Valor-Ash chooses to throw the move. I think we're probably going to see a shield come out here from Valor-Ash. What do you think, King?
I think certainly a shield's going to come out. He's at 80 energy right now, right?
I think he can do 1 more maximum.
He slightly undercharges this. No, he doesn't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have made sense. If you could get 1 more off there, that'd be great.
Do we see a win con here? No, there's no way, right?
So you have to throw both of these foul plays to KO. One's not going to do it
It's
here.
a Dark Pulse.
Or it's a Dark Pulse. You're right. I forgot he had that moveset.
Oh, the Incinerate coming through.
He had to farm down there. He had to farm down. Yeah, you're right. Good call out with the Dark Pulse versus the foul play. Hitting a lot stronger, a little bit better damage per energy. Unable to farm down, though. I think we saw multiple scenarios there where that Mandibuzz, where Gaston is wanting to farm down with those snarls. However, he's unable to do so. It happened versus the Galvantula and then happened again there versus the Talonflame. Just not enough fast move pressure there from that Mandibuzz.
Yeah, I think what we saw there as well. Oh, go ahead, King. I apologize.
No. Go ahead.
I just wanted to mention, I think what we saw there was a possible win con for Gaston in the very final moments. I think that if the Galvantula did not have a charge move, which, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, I don't believe it did. I think that if you land the Dark Pulse, you get the farm down, you can Dark Pulse again, and try to take down the Galvantula, but I think the Incinerate snuck through on the charge move there.
Well, keep in mind as well that the Incinerate was boosted at that point, and that without a boost, perhaps he may have been able to hang on. It is a very bulky mon, but after that attack boost, right, you're still taking some pretty serious damage there from that Talonflame. So, guys, Valorash, like I said, I think that he's just going to keep replicating this strategy. The Galvantula is too good, the Talonflame is too good, and then you're just bringing one other additional booster here. I mean, let's be real. I think Gaston maybe cleaning up a little bit might be able to deny some of those fast moves, perhaps, and might make the game a little bit closer. I think if that, if we're denying 2 moves, that might help you save 1 shield, perhaps. So,
be talking about this totally differently if Gaston played a little bit cleaner when he's throwing, denying those moves, throwing on the CMPs, then we might be talking about Munchlax and Chill having the lead.
Yeah. Well, what started out as a 3-2 Elite Four versus Munchlax has quickly turned into a 9-2 advantage here. This is quickly slipping away from Munchlax and Chill with the Elite Four after getting, after losing a match last week versus Cool Cats that was, they were firmly ahead. They're not going to let this one slip away, they're saying. So let's see game number 4 here if Valorash can get another win off Gaston.
So here we go. Alola Ninetales leading into that Galvantula. We've seen this before.
We have seen this before. Gaston, last time choosing to shield and preserve the HP, does choose to bring the Jellicent again here. I think the Jellicent is a smart play, but again, it all comes down to alignment. You have a 1 in 3 chance, basically, of getting it aligned properly. I think that if I'm Gaston, I'm going to try and win switch here so that I can get my Jellicent lined up versus that Talonflame. Okay, once again, chooses to shield. All right. Nice job throwing with the timing that time. King was talking about, a little bit of lag there. I think we're only going to see a great...
I think it was regardless. Oh my gosh, nope. Okay. We will not see the shield, okay?
Ooh.
Good. Okay, we're seeing a lot cleaner play from Gaston here. Getting the Powder Snow through along with the Volt Switch there to not just let a free one through without getting some energy as well. Okay, that time we do see a shield come out from Valorash. Valorash saying, hey, I'm going to make you double shield if you want to keep switch here, most likely.
Oh,
big call from Gaston.
Really nice call.
I don't think he can farm down though, King. I think he has to throw a move here. He does. Would have been close. This time lets the Volt Switch through, but doesn't care. This is now in Valorash's court. Does he want switch advantage with the double shield? He does not. All right. So that's big for Gaston. Winning switch advantage here, taking out the Galvantula.
No.
What did he switch out?
I'm not sure on this play here, and lets the Incinerate go through. He could have just let the A9 go down and then bring in his Jellicent. Yes, the would have been a little bit of an energy advantage for that Talonflame, but now you're in a position where your Jellicent's not going to get lined up versus this Talonflame most likely. And Valorash, what we've seen in the back is a Zweilous or something that could probably counter this this Jellicent. I'm not sure about this one. I'm predicting Zweilous on the back here.
Oh man, if this is Zweilous in the back.
This is pretty brutal. Another flame charge coming through. Vigoroth goes down.
Imagine if it's Zweilous in the back. You just lost your Zweilous counter to this Talonflame when you could have had your Jelly. Okay, it's the Venusaur. Oh man, and you have no Ice Beam. Well, guess what? It was another Jellicent counter, but this time it was the Venusaur versus the Zweilous. So I think that's a GG here for Valorash, going to secure number 4 here.
There's still a little bit of play here, right? Like if he catches,
you have to catch a frenzy here.
Yeah, he's in a bubble beam here, which is, oh man,
no shield.
What?
How do you guys feel about the no shield here?
Oh, because he's putting it on.
I don't think that was the play. I think that's admitting defeat.
Yeah, I think you shield there. You try to get a sack swap in to give yourself a chance, but the no shield just guarantees the loss there.
I don't think that he was expecting the sludge bomb. All right.
Yeah, we're kind of stunned here. The whole cast. I don't know.
I honestly, I think Gaston could have won that game.
I think if you catch a frenzy, it becomes a winnable game, right? It's an uphill battle for sure, but I don't think that was a scenario where there were 0 win cons to the point of the rest of the casters here.
Yeah, that's tough. We're stunned. I think King's expression says it all. I feel the same way.
Well, that's a tough one here for Munchlax and Chill for sure. Elite Four getting 2 additional points here, and I think are now on the brink of victory here. I think that, yeah, with the win here, it's going to put things almost out of reach here for Munchlax and Chill.
Absolutely.
So, Valarash sticking to the formula: Galvantula, Talonflame plus Jealous Encounter. Right? We did see the Crustle come out once, but we've been seeing the Zweilous and the Venusaur lately. If you're Gaston, do you switch it up? Do you bring the Reggie? Do you bring the Zapdos? We've seen everything else.
You gotta bring something. You gotta bring something.
So let's think about this. There's 2 more matchups here for Game 3 and Game 4. They can get a maximum of 10 total points. If Elite Four wins this, if Valarash wins this game, that'll take them up to 13, and it will actually secure a victory if Valarash is able to get the 5-0 sweep here.
Yeah, exactly right. I think Mason also did something very, very clever in game 1, bringing that Crustle, trying to maybe dissuade his opponent from bringing something like a Zapdos, which could be a little bit tricky for something like Talonflame. The double bug strategy has been really strong for him throughout this matchup. And as we get here into game 5, as you said, Holesome, it's going to become almost mathematically impossible for Munchlax and Chill to come back if Valarash is able to win another game here. All right, so gentlemen,
we're ready.
Yeah,
I think we're ready.
Here.
Here we go. Alola Ninetales lead into Galvantula again.
All right, Gaston was able to win switch here. Really nice game, a really nice clean gameplay at the start last time, not letting Volt switches through, making sure that he is getting additional powder snows whenever possible. Once again, throws at a good time, able to get a non-debuffed move across here. Last time we saw both trainers invest 1 shield. Let's see what happens this time. All right, able to get I think a CMP right here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that Discharge will KO, but chooses to shield regardless.
Okay.
And Valarash does not choose to throw the lunge this time. Good timing by Gaston. Not when you get into a CMP scenario, does not allow a Volt Switch to come through. So we're definitely seeing some lessons learned and some cleanup here on the part of Gaston. All right.
I'm surprised by the shield here.
This will leave you very low if you choose to no shield it, if it's a discharge. Okay.
Ooh, very nice
here. I think we just see a farm down at this point now.
We're gonna see a very nice farm down.
Okay.
Reaching for Vigoroth. There it is.
Yeah, so I don't mind this one because he doesn't.
When you don't have the Jellicent ready to go, and when there's a much larger farm down that could end up happening, I think this is a smart play, King, like you said.
But here's the issue. The shields are down. The Brave Bird, there's nothing stopping Mason from Brave Birding here.
Brave Bird and dip. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's gonna build up. He's gonna throw at the.
Yeah, I think you probably get to 4 Incinerates just before you get to this Body Slam, CMP tie, throw the Brave Bird, and come out with 1 Incinerate additional.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because
Nice
nice 15 energy after this Brave Bird, and then
Can't see him surviving this one. Oof.
Also able to swap out.
here.
Oh man, hopefully it's not Crustle.
What could Valarash have in the back that would be
Okay.
capable here for Gaston? Well, you have the move here, and he's debuffed. Do you want to hang on to this Talonflame if you're Valarash?
Oh, he does. He does.
Oh,
There it
my
is.
gosh.
There's the crystal.
God.
No shield left to hit for nice damage here, but this Crustle is going to have a ton of energy coming out. It's going to be able to get to a Rock Slide before this Mandibuzz is able to get to a Dark Pulse here. This Rock Slide is going to hit for super effective damage, and
Mandibuzz is a thick bird, though. I mean, this
It is a
won't
thick
one
bird.
shot.
He'll definitely live this, but
I think you have to probably throw, I was going to say right away, or maybe 1 extra Snarl. This should KO, I think.
the Talonflame's 1 away from a move, though, right?
Mhm.
It's at 35.
He might be 2 away.
Oh, he survives.
Oh, that's unfortunate. This X Scissor, not a good move. Hits for neutral. He's at 1 HP. This is going to be a GG here on the back of the Crustle. From Valarash, we kind of called it from the beginning. The Talonflame and the Galvantula look super strong, and we just saw a committee of different Pokemon. The Zweilous, the Venusaur, the Crustle, they all cleaned up. No showing from Toxicroak there, but probably, you know what's funny? Toxicroak actually has some good matches.
Any Brave Bird.
Any Brave Birds.
There you go. There you go. The PM Brave Bird. Talonflame did have a move. Oh my gosh, guys. There it was. 10 points on the back of Valarash there, securing the victory in matchup number 2. Congratulations to the Elite Four for taking 3rd place here in the Go Team Up tournament. Well played by Valarash.
Absolutely. As we said there before, it's mathematically impossible for Munchlax and Chill to come back from that. So after we did see the Polymers and Toshi matchup, and then the double downs for each team respectively with Gaston and Mason, we did see that match come to its conclusion. Elite Four going to get third place here. This is interesting because the Elite Four have always placed well in the Go Team Up tournaments. I don't believe they've ever won, but they always place very well. They're very consistent. And I think one of the talking points again is Mason carrying that Crustle all the way to third place in Go Team Up Worlds. Excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great play by Valorash. I think with Gaston, there were 2 or 3 moments where there were some additional fast moves coming through that definitely did not prove beneficial. Put him at a even more of a disadvantage than he already had going into what was a very challenging matchup. The one thing I'll comment on, I don't think this has anything to do with Gaston. I think it's more due to whoever is picking the double down. If I'm Munchlax and Chill, I'm putting my double down on someone else. When you're up against a tough one like that, and you know there might be a threat of going 0-5 or 1-4, put your double down on someone else that you have a stronger matchup on, and at least give yourself a chance to gain some of those points back. But knowing that there's no possibility of double down points being applied elsewhere in the game 3 or game 4, it just makes an impossibility. So not only does Elite Four get 10 points, but you are denying yourself an ability to get more than 5 points in any other matchup. So tough spot to be in there for Munchlax and Chill.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as much as we're commenting on Gaston's play, obviously still an absolutely incredible player. Just had a tremendously difficult matchup and had to line up everything perfectly and tried to make the right calls. And sometimes it's really difficult to do that. So
yeah, we called it, King. 5 out of the 6 Mons were kind of weak to Valorash's team, and then he has basically one hope in his Jellicent that he was never really able to get a line properly. So it was tough no matter what.
Yeah, no.
I definitely agree. Yeah, Mason, very, very talented battler. Valorash did win that mega tournament in Orlando in January, and he showed why he's one of the best in the world yet again today. Very GG's to all trainers involved, especially Gaston. We all know he's extremely talented, and it just was not his day that day. So before we get into any more battles, I wanted to talk to chat about the Commander Cups. If you're looking for a 7-round Commander Cup, Go Stadium has your back. Go Stadium is here to provide tournaments for everyone in the community, and we have at least 2 large tournaments left this month. On May 9th, that is tomorrow, chat. May 9th is tomorrow. We will have the main event of the Battle Resort. This is a live tournament, 30-minute rounds. If you want a tournament that you can attend that day and not have to worry about an extended kind of battle every other day or every day, this is the tournament for you. It all wraps up in a few hours. And starting on May 14th, mid-month, we do have the 48-hour round Commander Cup. Both are open to all players to join. If this is your first Silph Arena tournament, or if this is your 100th, this is a great experience. Go Stadium responsible for some of the largest 7-round tournaments that you can find. So if you're looking for a big one and you would like to win it all or just have a good time playing the Commander Cup, these are the tournaments for you. Make sure to join the Discord, discord.gg/Go Stadium, and then choose the corresponding roles in the community for the tournaments that you're interested in. It's as easy as clicking a reaction button to get into the tournament there. Holesome, would you like to add anything to these Commander Cup tournaments? I think they look pretty exciting.
Yeah, if you guys are hanging out in the chat, you can type !Discord and see the link to the Discord right there. Make sure you join the community roles section, and to Speedy's point, you can do the reaction and get signed up for those tournaments, guys. Whether you are new to the scene, whether you guys are veterans, there's going to be a lot of great personas here in the community and in these battles here. Definitely make sure you guys check out. There's a lot of other resources there on the Go Stadium Discord as well. So definitely make sure you guys follow the channel, join the Discord, and join the community.
Absolutely. I feel like Go Stadium it's just an amazing ability to bring people together from all parts of the world. I remember in one of my first Go Stadium friendships, I became friends with a trainer named Sunny Cheese, and I figured out that he actually made it to the semifinals of the APAC Continentals last season. And it was just as simple as adding a friend looking for battles, and I connected with him. And it's just such a cool ability to connect with people all across the world. I always like to say that I am at USA Eastern time, so it's 4:24 for me, but he lives in Malaysia, so it's 4:24 a.m. for him, but we are still connected through Go Stadium. You can make these friends, make these connections, and also participate in some amazing tournaments all at the same time. Gentlemen, before we get into the battles here, I do want to kind of watch a special recording that we have. We can show this to chat. This is actually a recorded sit-down conversation between Caleb Ping, who is the team captain for the Cool Cats, and Barnabas, the team captain for the Chicago CornDogs. These gentlemen are going to talk to us a little bit about their teams, about their GOTeamUp experience, and how they're feeling about GOTeamUp Worlds.
Hi, my name is Brendan or Bernobus. I'm the captain of the Chicago CornDogs, which consists of myself, Abhinav, Keenbart, and Ifelici.
Hey, Bernobus. I'm Caleb Pang, also known as Caleb Pang, and I am the captain of the Cool Cats, which is myself, Cochino Mom, the Chaotic Ace, and Ervo, who we also refer to as Kervo. So we're definitely excited to face you on the finals. This will be a rematch for us too, because we faced off in the semifinals to go GOTeamUp 4 as well, which I remember was quite a close one.
I definitely remember it too. Yeah, you defeated our team. The Cool Cats did in the semis, and that's actually one of the few matches that have still stuck with me. You and I had I think we DD'd each other, if I recall correctly.
I think that was a bad call on my end, because I don't know what I was thinking. I had to get quite lucky on some leads there, but looking back on it, that was a bad DD call.
It was super close. I remember I think it might have been game 4. Because I think whoever was going to take the match positive was going to win. I think that's how it ended up being. And there was a game where I miscounted your Drifblim, and I needed to shield a Shadow Ball on my Azu, and I lost count, and I ate a Shadow Ball and just fell behind and couldn't pull it back. And those are one of those matches that I've replayed in my head a dozen times.
Yeah, I remember thinking, I was like, my AWAC beats 4 monsters in your team. This should be easy. And then I realized your other 2 monsters are Azu and Altaria. And I was like, okay, yeah, this was a bad idea. You're going to bring those 2 every single time. But it was a good team.
It's always a pleasure playing you and the Cool Cats.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely looking forward to this rematch. What's been like the team drafting process for you all, and in preparation for all this stuff throughout the Worlds tournament?
For when it comes to selecting teams or building our teams from the start, especially when they're in these restricted sort of formats, we kind of all start building our teams or what we'd have in mind, what we'd like our restricted pick to be, and see if kind of hope that there's no overlaps, that everyone kind of gravitates to a Pokemon that no one else is. And then from there, we kind of just allow everyone to kind of build their team or kind of their ideal team. And where we have overlaps, we kind of discuss, who needs the coverage more, what makes the most sense. And the goal, which, we realized the more GOTeamUp tournaments that we did, is that you don't want to have one super overpowered team. You want balance across all 4 of your teams, because, one person isn't going to win it. All 4 of you have to have competitive teams and to, build a team that can cover as much as possible. So that's our general process on our end. How about for you and the Cool Cats?
Yeah, definitely. We probably have a really haphazard way of building teams from probably most other people's perspectives, but we kind of hop on a call and say, I want this mon, and someone will say, I want this mon, and blah, blah, blah. And we work around those. And we usually don't have too much overlap, just because we all have our own specialized mon that we like to go with. There's no talking Cochino Mom out of her Toxicroak and probably Sableye. I'm going to run Bastion every time, and Arrow's going to run some Metamons. The Chaotic Ace is probably the most flexible out of us, but we kind of just try to capitalize on our strengths rather than our focus on our weaknesses. So we know that Heather's going to play Toxicroak better than anyone else, so there's no need for us to move that to a different team, and then kind of just go around there and cover some of our weaknesses and hope for the best. So it's been working for us for the most part, but I think it's definitely a more unique way of team building compared to most teams.
For sure. And the different bands always keeps us on our toes. I love Azumarill. That's always, when we have one of these and it's legal, everyone knows that's just what I gravitate towards. But it being banned in this most recent one was tough.
Yeah,
hurt a little bit.
I'm still hoping that they never ban Bastiodon, but maybe one day. Yeah. What was the World's experience like for you all, by the way? Because we were on completely opposite sides of the bracket both group stages and then both elimination brackets too.
I'm a huge fan of these. The entire team are huge fans of the format. Any sort of team format, especially the Go Team Up tournaments, it brings that kind of camaraderie element that sometimes is just missing from general Silph or GBL, where it's just kind of like a solo effort. So we always look forward to them, and so we were super excited to get invited because we actually missed a couple. So I think we were one of the last few teams to qualify. So we were excited just to make it at all. And then, taking a look at the group stages, we liked a lot of our matchups, and, we utilized kind of calls, and it was a lot more of a collaborative effort. We obviously had always talked about our matches and who we felt was good, bad, but this time we took it a lot more seriously. And I think that's kind of part of the reason we had some success. But we just have a really good team chemistry. We're all from Chicago. We all know each other really well. We're all in the same chats. We get along well, and we know how to kind of pick each other up when, someone has a rough set. It's because it all happens to us. Sometimes I need to step up. Sometimes Abby needs to step up. Sometimes, we would just kind of do what's kind of necessary to keep things moving along and understand that everyone has bad days, bad sets, bad matchups, and, it happens, and, just got to continue forward as a team. So.
Yeah, definitely. That's super important too. And I'm glad you all were able to qualify to Worlds too, just because you're definitely a strong team that we're always looking at too in competitions. But yeah, I totally agree. The team format is a ton of fun. And I don't know about you, but for me, I stopped practicing for all other formats. Like I don't even practice for Silph anymore. No offense to Silph, but it just, I don't have so much limited time. And for me, I just mostly focus on the team format, especially GOTeamUp.
Sure. I mean, there's only so much time we all have. We're all busy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it is. Speaking of the kind of bracket, kind of how everything played out. It's nice that we could meet in the finals. After us getting knocked out in the semis. I think it was Go Team Up 3, maybe was the tournament, but we don't want to say we were hoping. I mean, our matchup against C4 was not good. Like in the knockout stage before getting to the semis, they really whooped us pretty good. And just we had bad matchups all across the board. They're all super talented trainers, so we were kind of rooting for y'all to take it to get the rematch and what we felt like hopefully would be a better team matchup. So.
For sure, yeah. And we played Munchlax and Chill in group stage 2 as well. And, we definitely want to fight a new team instead of having a repeat matchup as well. So this is definitely going to be an exciting one. And for us, we barely, I don't know how tough the road was for you all, but we barely even made it to the second group stage. We were defeated quite handily by Ann Arbor Arbox, and we barely skated on by as the second team to qualify into group stage 2. So from there, we're just like, we got to buckle down and win everything at this point, because if we lost one in group stage 2, we would have been out as well.
And that is super impressive, because y'all were one of the teams that came in like with a loss against another one of the group in the second group stage, right? So you had to. That's tough to have to like win on demand, and y'all did. And props to that. All of our group stages, everything was super close. I think in our initial group stage, there were 3 teams that finished 2-1, and we just were the top one because of differential and head-to-head and all that sort of stuff. But it was all super close. A couple of less wins, and we might not even make it to the second knockout. So
yeah, we were I think we're the only team in group stage 2 that had a negative point differential going into it, because we lost so hard to Ann Arbor Arbox. But
it just goes to show sometimes you have a bad matchup, and it's just hard to win or even get a lot of points, and it doesn't mean that isn't reflective of the team or anything at all.
Definitely.
Just how it goes sometimes.
It was particularly ugly because no one went positive in any of our battles. So
I think
in some ways it was reflected on the whole team. But
our E4 one was similar. One of us might have gone positive, but I know at least 3 out of us 4 went negative against E4. So definitely can relate.
For sure. But yeah, I feel like the team formats are really changing the scene of Pokemon Go, especially on a competitive level. Now that Silph factions are coming around as well, so there's another big name organization that is hosting these team formats. But like I said, it's the only thing I really practice for anymore, and it's a lot of fun, and definitely looking forward to our finals matches too.
Same, and I completely agree about where competitive PvP is going. I think the team aspect and team formats are are the future. To be honest, it's personally. I think I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. Is that it's more fun to be playing as part of a team. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad we have so many options. A year and a half ago, 2 years ago, there weren't kind of any of this really kind of team formats unless you wanted to, find a different group of folks to kind of get together and do your own kind of, team format battle. But I'm excited about, future GOTeamUp tournaments and definitely Silph factions. It's an exciting time for, PvP.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for chatting with me, and best of luck to you all in the finals.
You too. Thanks, Caleb. Good luck to you and the Cool Cats.
All right, appreciate it.
There we saw Caleb Ping and we saw Barnabas. Caleb Ping, the meta breaker, content creator, just an incredible trainer, all around good person as well. And then Barnabas was actually my teammate with the Silph Invitationals format, so I am familiar with Barnabas as well. Again, kind heart, extremely talented battler, but both of them are very, very competitive. Gentlemen, was there anything about that interview that kind of stood out to you that maybe caught your attention?
I like how they had very different strategies for the interview. So I like how Caleb kept trying to pull information from Barnabas. So Caleb, really friendly face, really friendly guy, but he'll take any advantage he can get.
He's a lot of them. Right?
He was asking tell us your draft strategy, tell us everything, just trying to get us any advantage he could take away to bring back to his team. Barnabas, just a super nice guy. Just trying to reflect back on some previous matches, talk about the journey. Caleb just trying to look to get ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you mentioned just the niceness of the interview. Guys, this is a competitive format here. There was no trash talking whatsoever. This was about as nice and polite as I think we're going to see two team captains interact. But the one thing that stuck out to me, this may not be related specifically to the tournament format, to Go Stadium, to even Pokemon Go, but that hoodie from Barnabas, oh my gosh, the hoodie and then the tortoiseshell glasses. I mean, looking stylish, Barnabas. What can I say? Just 10 out of 10. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I agree with both the points you made there, gentlemen. I think it's so funny as well. Not maybe funny, but maybe more ironic, right? Because Pokemon Go was a game that was founded on community. You all raided together. You all caught rare Pokemon together. You all walked around together and talked about what you were catching, what you were doing that day. It was always very collaborative. And I feel like in GBL, it's just you doing your sets. And sure, you can have friends participate with you, maybe on the call, maybe you interact with chat. But having that kind of group aspect, I think, has been missing, especially during the pandemic. So getting people together for something like a GOTeamUp tournament, I think, is really filling that need. It fills that longing to be with your friends and to cooperate, which is what Pokemon Go is founded on. And it's part of the reason why it's such a friendly community. I remember going to my first in-person tournament. Everyone was so kind. Win or loss, you shook hands, you talked about strategies, you laughed, you had a really good time. I think that GOTeamUp helps us to fill that void during lockdown, during the pandemic, and the really difficult year we've had. So thank you, Go Stadium, for all that you do. All right, so I think we're going to move into the next game. Chat, after that sober reflection, let's take a look at some hype battles, because we have the championships to work through. We already crowned third place, which was the Elite Four, but we are moving on into the grand stage here. The Chicago CornDogs on the left side versus the Cool Cats on the right side. As King mentioned, Caleb Ping, a very talented battler, a meta breaker. I'm sure he's looked over these teams 1,000 times trying to find holes and strategies to exploit. And meanwhile, Barnabas and Abhinav, no slouches. They have gotten this far for a reason, and they're going to fight with everything they've got to be the first ever GOTeamUp World Champion. All right, with that, let's get into this first pairing. We do have the Chaotic Ace versus Abhinav, and we do have a new cam angle as well, which I really love. All the graphics and production that Miss Mystic and Go Stadium have put on for us today, I think it looks incredible, and I can't wait to get into the battles. We have the teams as well. These are teams we've seen, gentlemen, but not in this exact pairing. Let's talk about what you see here. What stands out from Abhinav and the Chaotic Ace?
I think from Abhinav's side, the shift tree looking pretty appealing, has some strong matchups against the Diggersby, against the Polytoad, has play versus the Defense Deoxys and Alolan Marowak. I think pairing that with Defense Deoxys, which we saw Abhinav run in the previous round, covers the Abomasnow and Skarmory weakness.
We saw a lot of glow score coming out, I think, last time from Abhinav. Obviously, a very hard counter there. A couple hard counters, actually, when you look at it from Chaotic Ace, having access to the Abomasnow, really only being able to throw the Night Slash, the non-stab Night Slash. And then also, the Politoed as well. You do have the super effective Weather Ball spam. So I don't know that we're going to see as much of it this time. I think that when we look at these teams... what do we see again? Once again, the Deoxys Skarmory core, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of it. I think we could see some Skarmory versus Skarmory, Deoxys versus Deoxys, Deoxys versus Skarmory. A lot of that in these matchups here, so it could be very dependent on those other Mons that they bring, potentially the Shiftries or the Abomasnows or the Politoads or the Mucks that may determine the outcome of this matchup here. Because I think we're going to see a lot of that core that we saw from Poly here in this matchup as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I really like the strength of that Shadow Abomasnow. Some of the best players in the world that I know run that Pokemon very, very well. It looks very strong against this team as long as it can avoid the Deoxys Skarmory core, like you pointed out, Holesome. Without further ado, let's get into game one here. This is our first pairing for the GOTeamUp World Championship. Chicago CornDogs on the left with Abhinav versus the Cool Cats on the right, the Chaotic Ace. All right.
So we see the Deoxys coming out right away. The Marowak coming in from Chaotic Ace, so that's nice for him. We see the immediate swap out into the Muck. Interesting. Wasn't expecting that in the first matchup here, but Chaotic Ace does have a very nice answer here with the Politoed coming out. Does have access to the Earthquake, which we don't know if we'll see revealed. Definitely can tank this this Dark Pulse coming out here from the Muck.
Yeah, Holesome, you are a very good Alola Muck user. I thought Alola Muck looked good on paper, but he's got to call the bait here. Oh, he calls it.
Great for the Earthquake. Chooses to no shield. Goodbye, Muck. And guys, to be honest, this Muck is not the same as it is in Ultra League. The Great League Muck, much less tanky. Even a Weather Ball is hurting. I think that was a choice decision here by Abhinav saying, I'm going to let this thing go down. But this is... that was a lot of HP getting taken out there by that Muck. Politoad's eyes look a little strange there on the left side.
It does look a little bit...
Sure. What's interesting here, guys, we're seeing the moveset from the Deoxys here. No Psycho Boost, which I think is a little different than what we see in most Deoxys' movesets right now. Going with the Rock Slide and Thunderbolt.
I think this is the right play from Abhinav. He needs to farm all the way down.
Yeah, he's going to deny his opponent additional farm too because he's going to be solo HP, but have loaded energy here. Okay. Alrighty, no shields have been used here, which is pretty interesting. If you're Chaotic Ace, you've got 2 full HP Mons and a little bit of energy. On the other side, we have Abhinav with all the energy in the world here on his Deoxys, but very little HP. Chaotic Ace choosing to no shield this Rock Slide here. Gets to another one here. I think you have to shield this one. But we see Chaotic Ace sneak through the Fire Spin. That could be big here. All right.
You're going to switch out in.
Used. This is kind of tough here. If you are Abhinav, though, this Dugong, you don't have a lot of stuff to fight back here. Resisted Ice Shards, resisted Icy Winds. You have a shield advantage.
Yeah, I like how Chaotic Ace is staying in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is, I don't know if this is over yet, but Chaotic Ace looks to be in the driver's seat here. Got a no shield the first one, knowing that the second one could
be man.
Here. Oh,
yeah,
this is not what you want to see. Chaotic Ace, knowing that this is an icy, expecting this to be an icy wind, chooses to no shield it when it could have been the Water Pulse, I believe. Very, very nice play. A little bit of lag, but I think it was on both of their ends.
Yeah, forcing Abhinav to dump all its energy. Wow, okay. This is still a playable... I don't know, actually. Maybe it's too low at this point in time.
You have to catch a Sky Attack here. It's your only play. Your Deoxys is basically useless at this point. And even if you catch it, I think this Skarmory is just going to farm down knowing that it has the shield.
Here comes a big CMP. Skarmory going to win it. That Icy Wind, I think it's going to get fired off here if they did press the charge move, and he did.
Yeah. Here's the issue, though. This Dugong has basically no HP, despite these air slashes being now single stage debuffed. I think that just farming down is all that all that Chaotic Ace needs to do here. We're gonna see the shield most likely come out here. May just do a bad manners no shield here. Chooses not to. Goes ahead and shields it up. And yeah, we're gonna see him get farmed down here. Not gonna be able to make it to another move here. Chaotic Ace says, you know what? Nice try, but I've got the Sky Attack ready to go here. Going to be able to take out the Deoxys and farm down the Dugong. Game number 1 is going to be going to the Cool Cats here on the back of Chaotic Ace. Very nicely played.
Absolutely. I really do like that Skarmory in the back there from Chaotic Ace. We did see a very interesting kind of a series of events because I think Abhinav really stumbled when he caught the Earthquake on the Alola Muck, and Chaotic Ace saw he was teetering and he just gave him a little push and pushed him off the edge there to take game 1.
Tough to come back from for sure. I think that if you are Abhinav there and having that Muck, it's got pretty safe matchups across the board outside of that Poly, and you hate to see the Poly, especially with that Earthquake there. So definitely a hard punish coming in there, unable to come back from it afterwards. I think we might see some different play here on the side of Abhinav coming through here, but that is definitely not the alignment that you wanted to see, having your Deoxys up against the AWAC and then having the Muck up against the Poly there. Very tough for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the Abhinav probably should have stayed in the Defense Deoxys versus Alolan Marowak matchup. It does have a bad matchup versus the Alolan Marowak, but probably a slightly better one than.
You can at least threaten the shield though, right? With the
yeah, absolutely, and you do slightly outpace it.
Yeah, and you survive a move too. It's not just so singularly one-sided that you have no play, and it really opened the door for more of a cascading avalanche of hard counters there, right? That ended up really dictating that match.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But as we talked about before, chat, this is an information gathering game. Game 1, it's hard to win it outright, but you can learn about your opponent, learn about their strategies, what they're trying to do, what they're bringing against you, and just get a preview into what they're thinking. I would like to see some Shadow Abomasnow play. I think both trainers will switch it up, but not seeing the Abomasnow in game 1. Maybe Abhinav decides to bring that Gliscor, which I think does have some decent neutral play against a lot of things here. You can Night Slash Deoxys and Marowak. You can hang in there against a Skarmory. I would like to see more Alola Muck play. I know Holesome said that the Ultra League version is superior, but I would like to see it as well. I think it still has a lot of use here in game 2.
Before we get into game number 2 here, what do you think of the Diggersby there? Because I don't know that we're going to see that here from Chaotic Ace. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know where it's really going to line up here and just have like a very dominant matchup versus Abhinav's team.
Yeah, I just don't see too much play for the Diggersby. Even though it has a really strong matchup versus the Defense Deoxys, since none of the charge moves do much damage, obviously taking super effective counter damage. But yeah, I think sticking with the Politoed is probably the way to go.
Well, let's see what happens here. Game number 2, can we get a tie here, 1-1, or will Cool Cats go ahead and pull away 2-0?
Let's jump into it. Okay. Ooh, same lead.
Wow, we've seen this before. Will Abhinav have a different strategy this time, do you think?
Oh, okay. It looks like both of them have decided to bring the exact same team.
Wow. I think that...
No, it's definitely looks like
Yeah, this is different here from Abhinav, choosing to stay in the
very nice no shoot.
Huge. Puts him in a very, very advantageous position here. Essentially taking no damage, wasting all of that energy from Chaotic Ace, and now threatening shields from this Marowak here and getting a shield. Very, very nice, courageous play by Abhinav.
Whoa!
He resisted Shadow Bone, caught. Oh, excellent counting from Abhinav. Abhinav probably knows that there's going to be a counter coming in here, but he's up a shield. This is looking quite nice. Chaotic Ace choosing to stay in, farm up a little bit more energy. I think trying to maybe catch a Dark Pulse, but that was one move too soon.
Whoa, this is interesting. Coming in the Skarmory this time versus the Alolan Muck as opposed to the Politoed.
Yeah, as well.
Oh, they CMP'd?
Maybe knowing that the Deoxys has some energy, doesn't want to have the Skarmory lined up against it later on in the matchup.
Ooh, this is not good for Chaotic Ace.
No, I don't think so at all. Abhinav choosing to no shield this one here, letting the sky attack go through, letting the muck go down. Got some good value out of that muck for sure, catching a move, doing some damage, and taking this Skarmory very low to a point where Abhinav should be able to farm down with the Deoxys absolutely loaded on energy now. We do see the Marowak come back in here, but up a shield with energy, this Deoxys definitely has a nice play versus this Marowak.
Maybe hoping for the Psycho Boost there, but the Rock Slide does come through. Sometimes when you talk about roles, I think the Skarmory was better suited for a different role than countering that Alolan Muck there, like you gentlemen pointed out. Politoed in the back, and I can't think what Chaotic Ace is trying to target with the Politoed.
All right, so we did see the Deoxys get the second shield there. Now we have, okay, not the best here for Dugong, right? With its all of its moves being resisted here. Just wants to team up his attack here. Does have 2 shields though, right? Does have 2 shields, and the only real move that's going to do some damage here is this Earthquake. Let's see what Abhinav wants to do. Dugong's very tanky.
Oh, ooh, this is tough.
That'll take it into the yellow here, but still lots of HP left and 2 shields.
Against the Dugong, this Politoad's going to get weaker the longer it stays in the fight. I think it makes the most sense to shield the first move because it will dish the most damage. The switch clocks are kind of resetting as well, so you might see a swap out to clear the debuff. I think ideally, if you're Politoad, you want to exit with an Earthquake, and now I think he's going to be forced to shield a Weather Ball.
All right. This would be a huge no shield here on the side of Abhinav. No shields, it double resisted. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my
Absolutely
gosh.
mental.
Nothing. Double debuffed, rather. Weather Ball coming through. And knows the second one is a Weather Ball as well.
That is quite...
All right. Has the Shadow Bone, I believe. Chooses to throw the Bone Club here.
Are you serious?
Abhinav says, I'm not going to shield anything. I'm going to call every bait move. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I think...
How many corn dogs do you think his team promised him if he saved?
Lives with 1 HP. Will he make it to the Rock Slide? Oh, so close. Psycho Boost would have been very, very nice to have there. Regardless, able to make it to the Icy Wind. Still has 2 shields. At this point, you're just going to be throwing straight Weather Ball as the Politoad. But I don't think there's any scenario here where you can mud shot down a Dugong here. Oh my gosh.
It might be your only play, though.
Yeah, I think that was the only play.
Technically, you do 1 damage with a with a charge move. Maybe that's what he's going for.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I think that's going to secure it here for Abhinav. Very, very gutsy calls here with a lot of these no shields here. Calling multiple Weather Balls, calling multiple Bone Clubs. That's a tough matchup there for Abhinav, but played it flawlessly, let's be real. Yeah. It's like he was looking at his opponent's screen.
My goodness, yeah, we saw a really tough kind of slippery matchup there in the end. The Seal versus the Toad, and the Seal was able to muscle away the victory there. Yeah, I was really concerned after he failed to shield the Earthquake there from the Politoad early on in the matchup, but he was able to pull it off. At that point, Abhinav was playing the HP game, and he knew he could outlast the mud shots, as opposed to game 1, where we saw the Skarmory's air slashes add up and it was too much for the Dugong. He knew that those mud shots would not be enough to overcome the Dugong with its high HP stat. That was a really slippery, tough, back and forth kind of struggle there.
Even tanked an Earthquake on the Dugong there, right? Just took it on the chin and says, you know what? I'll use these shields later. I don't need to use them now. Really, really nice play by Abhinav through and through.
Yeah, I think what I really like when you see 2 elite battlers go at it, they just play so unconventionally because they know typically you should bait on the first one, right? And then the Chaotic Ace decide not to bait. And then you go for the bait on the second one because the Earthquake would KO. Abhinav saying, I'm not going to shield here, I'm going to put it all on the line, and I was able to come out on top.
Absolutely. As we saw, Chaotic Ace was able to take advantage from an early stumble from Abhinav not shielding his Alolan Muck, put him too far behind, able to win game 1. But in game 2, Abhinav shows that he's got grit. He is in the World Championships for a reason, and he proved it in game 2. Gentlemen, let's get into game 3. Let's see how these trainers adjust because we still have more games to play.
For an entertainment perspective, I'd like to see some new teams, and we see it right away. We see the Shiftry come out here from the side of Abhinav, which, oh my gosh, this thing is going to be getting chunked from these fire spins here. Absolutely hitting very hard. Able to make it to this foul play. Yeah, this is going to hit really hard. I don't think it's going to KO, but we absolutely see the respect here from Chaotic Ace, shielding up this foul play.
Did Chaotic Ace hit the Bone Club?
He did. CMP.
Oh, it was a CMP there. I think if you're Abhinav, you know this is not going to KO, but you need this HP in order to get to another foul play. Or
Yeah, I guess he'll CMP with. That's actually a really nice play from Chaotic Ace.
Knowing that he has to shield to get to a second move.
Yeah.
I think the normal Shiftry can survive that and get to 2 foul plays. However, the Shadow Shiftry here,
Whoa, okay. I was expecting the farm down.
I would have not thrown that second move.
Yeah, this is absolutely brutal.
I would have just double shielded and farmed down. He chooses to undercharge it. Wow, we see a swap out here.
Okay, this is interesting.
But has the Polytoad to respond. This much just shield advantage. This Dark Pulse is going to hit hard. It's nice stab damage here coming through neutral up against this this Polytoad. But this Polytoad's going to be spamming out these Weather Balls pretty quick and going to force a shield. Likely gets to 2 Weather Balls before he gets to the second Dark Pulse. Let's see. CMP right here, maybe?
Yes.
Did he quick move?
He has to shield this. Abhinav, you have to shield this. Okay?
I'm not getting Earthquaked again. No way, no how. All right, comes in with this Dark Pulse here. Muck still lost, very, very healthy, lots of HP.
Ooh, I love this undercharge.
A little bit, very, very smart play.
I
Knowing
love
that
it.
his energy dry after throwing the Earthquake.
Ooh, that was the perfect undercharge.
Perfect undercharge. Doesn't have to worry about a Weather Ball here. Very, very heads up, smart play by Abhinav. Air Slash does go through there, however. A bit of a incremental advantage there for Chaotic Ace, but this Muck play has been very, very nice from Abhinav here, for sure. Has ability to catch, I was going to say, might go for it there. Doesn't end up panning out, but I don't know that it was a terrible play.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I think it would have been better to try to catch the... Oh my gosh, he's going to...
Here's the deal, though. This Brave Bird's going to hit hard, and I think Chaotic Ace can just swap right out. Yeah, this is going to hit very hard. You know what? I think even if he stays in, he can get to another move. No problem here. But chooses to bring back in. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh, this is risky.
Makes it to the Rock Slide, though, just before he gets to the Shadow Bone. Is he going to hang on, or is this going to take him out?
I think it will just barely hang on. And then
There it is.
But do you want to hang...
Oh, that was close.
The question
1 HP from Chaotic Ace's Marowak here. He is so low, but able to get to that Shadow Bone with 1 HP left. Takes out the Deoxys.
Yeah, but this is very not ideal, though, right? Isn't this...
Muck farms down, and this Skarmory doesn't have a move.
Yeah, not 100% sure you want to take out the Deoxys.
Yeah, it doesn't give you any ability for your Skarmory to actually farm down there. Okay, well, guys, there it was. The Muck play, very, very nice from Abhinav, taking a 2-1 advantage for the Chicago CornDogs. You know what? That Shadow Shiftry, really, all it did was just pressure shields. It didn't really have any other role, right? It just took those shields out from Chaotic Ace and allowed the back half of his lineup to clean up.
Yeah, that honestly, the undercharge was the play.
You got what, 2 additional Snarls there, King?
Yeah, 2 additional Snarls, and was able to... The Skarmory was 2 air slash.
Exactly. I was going to say, if he doesn't get that undercharge and just fully charges it, I don't know that he actually wins that matchup.
Yeah.
Very nice play. And guys, that's what it comes down to. Sometimes it's not the do I just play everything it's right? It's do I play everything as optimally as possible? Can I get can I squeeze every single bit of energy, every single bit of fast moves out of those mons? So really nice undercharge there for sure by Abhinav.
And I would have liked to see Chaotic Ace switch out right away, right after throwing the Brave Bird, or just throw the Sky Attack, because then it would have been in Shadowbone range anyways.
Right. I think the Brave Bird was a bit of a waste of energy when you think about it, right?
What was the advantage of throwing the Brave Bird over the Sky Attack?
Two lost
Air slashes.
Air slashes, exactly.
Yeah, so Chad, I just want to take a quick note here. We've seen a real clinic in high-level PvP play. As we saw there in Game 1, the early stumble cost Abhinav the match, not shielding the Earthquake on the Muck. In Game 2, we did see Abhinav calling tons and tons of baits and able to just have an iron will and power his way through that match. Right here in Game 3, we saw some incredible instances of situational awareness. Shiftry versus that Marowak in the lead, able to get to the back-to-back foul plays to burn both of those shields. The Alolan swap into the Politoed. Politoed knew it only got one move off in that matchup, so he went straight for the Earthquake because the double Dark Pulse was going to be too much with that energy advantage. This is something you can't pick up unless you've run these matchups with your teammates, you've practiced, you've battled, you know the situations, you know the simulations, and you know the shielding scenarios. This is an absolute clinic. I think each game demonstrates something fascinating that if you're new to PvP or if you're thinking about getting into Go Team Up, you should definitely take notes because these trainers are for real. Let's get into game 4 here. Go ahead, Holesome.
Let's be reminded, just guys, the pressure here. I don't know the exact number of games that all these trainers have played to get here, but it is immense. It is a ton, right? So the pressure is on here. They have played so many games, so many different matchups. They've been relying on their team, having ups and downs to make it to this point. You know that they are going as hard as they can here. So it's really great to see these great battles.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's jump into game 4 here. Chicago
Right.
CornDogs have a 2-1 lead against the Cool Cats.
All right, we see the Skarmory here from the side of Chaotic Ace, and then we have the Dugong come out from Abhinav here. This is a nice matchup for Dugong for sure. We might see Chaotic Ace throw a Brave Bird and dip on out, but Abhinav's going to be able to make it here to this Icy Wind right as you get to the Sky Attack here. And we do see Chaotic Ace choose to throw the Sky Attack here before getting debuffed. And some people like to shield the first one. He knows it's a Sky Attack that he can tank pretty nicely, and we did see a CMP there bringing out this this Icy Wind. I think that the Dugong actually gets there, the second one, a little bit faster than the but chooses to switch out. Interesting. Brings in the Muck, which brings out the Politoed.
Yeah, I think that's a very nice play, knowing what his backline is.
Right. I think that he's trying to bring out that Politoed, knowing that the Gliscor is no longer going to have to be faced up against it.
Yeah, but this Politoed is a really good matchup against this entire team, though. So curious on how this is going to get played out.
True. I think that even Dugong, which, right, we saw Dugong do some work versus the Politoed. It had a 2-shield advantage last time.
Yeah, I would say that was
point. Yeah, he was choosing to shield here to get some pressure out. Goes for the Sludge. Nikki says, I'm only going to get one more move here. Let's get his maximum damage.
Yeah, I like this play here, but I'm expecting Chaotic Ace to farm up quite a bit here. Okay, or
Goes for the Earthquake. All right. Super effective. Let's see. I don't think we're going to see a shield here.
yeah,
And we don't. So probably comes out with about two mud shots coming out of this matchup here for Chaotic Ace. Going to try and maybe... I don't think you can farm down. I think you have to...
Oh, he's pushing. He gets there. Oh, this is huge.
That
for Abhinav now.
is
Oh, no shield too.
No shielding the Earthquake. This Politoed getting some absolute...
oh man, that's very unfortunate for
Oh, man.
And he
All right,
wastes the
well,
energy too.
Very
Wow.
nice for Chaotic Ace there for sure.
not.
Going right for the Gliscor, wants to swap out, save that potential sack swap. In comes the Alolan Marowak. The Night Slashes will add up. Earthquake is almost a one-shot. Here comes the Skarm, though. This is a curious play.
Yeah, that was a curious. I would have just straight up sacked the
He's
Marowak.
trying to catch the Night Slash, but either way, I think you're in such a good position here that I don't know really too much what Abhinav can do.
You don't want to feed the Gliscor. If it gets the boost, it could get even more deadly.
That's right.
It's to be quite bad.
All right. Knows that he can get to a Sky Attack. Might have even been able to get to a Brave Bird, to be completely honest. Either way, we see the shield come out from Abhinav here. Abhinav probably going to be farming down this Skarmory at this point. We'll have a nice bank of energy going into this matchup here with the Marowak. Marowak, I believe, is very close to a Shadow Bone. We see it come out right away. Yeah, this is going to hurt. You kind of need to catch that Shadow Bone if you are Abhinav, but I don't know that Switch Clock was up for the Dugong just yet.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was not. Jess comes up here. Kind of have to catch this next one, but you're just going to get farmed down at this point. Yeah, there it is. Alrighty, so we threw the tie up there. Chaotic Ace, very nice play. I think has a pretty good advantage overall with that Politoed being able to continue lining up versus that Muck. And I think what the pivotal play there was shield on the Dugong, eating that Earthquake and getting essentially zero value out of it, just throwing a CMP Icy Wind at a 1 HP Politoed.
Yeah, Chaotic Ace coming out of that match. I was a little bit concerned that Chaotic Ace didn't farm up enough, but was able to just come out with the perfect amount of energy, force the CMP tie, make it too tempting to try to throw the move before the Earthquake came through.
Yeah, imagine if that Dugong shields the Earthquake and farms down that Politoed and doesn't throw the Icy Wind. Could have been a very different matchup for sure, but kind of a perfect storm of complications there on the side of Abhinav.
Yeah, no, it's like
Absolutely. Battling this Politoed is like going to the casino. You can roll some dice, and if it lands on Earthquake, you might lose a lot of money. So I don't think the Politoad's going to land on the bench here. I think it comes again in Game 5. Let's see how these trainers handle it. This is the decisive Game 5, Chicago CornDogs and Cool Cats. Both teams looking for an early advantage here in Go Team Up Worlds.
Alrighty, Abhinav coming in with the muck right away this time versus the nice matchup. These bone clubs do hit for super effective, but a non-stab, pretty bad damage per energy move is not something that you really have to worry about until maybe the third bone club here. So it does outpace slightly here to this bone club here, and we see it immediately throw it. Do you stay in, King, if you're Chaotic Ace?
well, looking at the back line, okay, yeah, I was gonna say you could
Immediately swapped out.
Yeah.
And we do see the Dark Pulse come out here from Abhinav, getting some chip damage versus the Skarmory. I think that if I'm Abhinav, I'm going to preserve my my Muck to realign versus that AWAC a little bit later on, and brings in the Dugong here at this point. I think this is nice on the side of Abhinav. Very smart play.
Yeah, I think I would have liked Chaotic Ace to go up all the way to the Brave Bird, because then I think it would have resulted in the CMP tie and at least potentially throwing the shield. They both end up getting moves through, so
Yeah.
to be about the same, but
So let's see if that extra air slash through is going to make a difference here. Is he going to be able to get there? I think so. He's going to be able to get to the Sky Attack. Does get the Ice Shard through, so I think he knows that after the debuff, probably going to hang on with 1 HP, but this does set up a scenario where Chaotic Ace is going to get a nice little farm here. But Abhinav does have a move ready to go. If he brings in the AWAC, should be able to get to the Water Pulse, or at least threaten it.
yeah, this is looking pretty bad for...
Brings in the Politoed here. This would be one big farm down. Knows that anything that Abhinav throws is going to be resisted here on the side of Chaotic Ace. And it is just a Icy Wind.
Yeah, Abhinav at this point in time must be feeling super comfortable, right? Just relaxing here. Doesn't
This
want to...
is a huge farm down.
I really like that play there, not throwing the Icy Wind right away, just to make sure that the mud shots still get deep. Oh, okay.
All right, we see the switch out, getting rid of that debuff here, bringing in the AWAC. Abhinav does have the Muck with, I think, maybe one Snarl already. Going to be able to make it to this Dark Pulse just after.
Ooh, sneaks in one.
Just after the Bone Club. You do hang on here, but how much value do you want to get out of your Muck here? All right, decides to let it go.
Okay,
A little bit of an over tap there, but let's see what happens. Yeah, we do see the shield come out here from Chaotic Ace. Abhinav is going to be live or dying on the back here of the Shiftry here. Shiftry going to be able to definitely charge these moves very, very quick. But look how much damage it is taking.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this actually...
And it resists all of Holly's moves. But you know what? It's so fragile.
Oh my gosh, I completely forgot it was a Shadow Shiftry.
Yeah, we've seen this before, the Marowak.
It's taking so much damage here.
You gotta shield this Bone Club. But when you do, you're gonna eat 2 Weather Balls. I think this is over. I think that unless Abhinav here can somehow get to 2 Leaf Blades, which I don't think is possible, this is gonna be game over for Abhinav. Chaotic Ace just being able to put too much shield pressure, despite these Bone Clubs being resisted. These fast moves are way too much for him to handle.
CMP? What?
Okay, hold on.
How?
Hold on.
Well, this is definitely...
So somehow we got a CMP tie there.
No, he switched out in the middle of the...
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Like he waited for him to throw the Snarl, then switched out and threw the play. That was really nice there.
Thanks for the clarity there, King, guys. Yeah, he swapped out in the middle of the Snarl, a 3-turn move, and allowing Chaotic Ace to bring in his Politoed and fire off a move before the energy registers and allows him to throw a charge move. So very nice play there from Chaotic Ace.
That was a very beautiful play.
Gentlemen, how did things just go wrong for Abhinav there in the final moments? I feel like we've seen the Shiftry Marowak before. He knows that the shields are not going to help him against the fire spin damage, but he sends it in anyway with all the shields in play.
My take is that Shadow Shiftry just takes too much damage. I know that there's a lot of Shiftry lovers out there. I'm a Shiftry lover. The Shadow Shiftry when you're having to shield weather balls, you're having to shield bone clubs, it's just too fragile. The only way that you can really get value out of it, I think, is maybe in a farm down scenario where there's something that you're not taking super effective damage. But if we looked on the side, the Cool Cats there and Chaotic Ace, the Skarmory, the Marowak, you're in a position where you're going to take tons of fast move damage and not able to get full value out of that Shiftry. So it was a tough spot to be in for sure.
I definitely agree. I think that's a great assessment. It looks like we're going to move on to the next matchup, though. The Cool Cats taking an early lead, but there's still 3 more sets to play. This is a best-of-5 format for the Go Team Up Worlds. We do have on the right side KiengIV, everybody's favorite Toxicroak battler, one of the best Toxicroak users in the world, probably the best, if we're being real, right? Let's be honest. And then on the left side, we have the Chicago CornDogs with Kieng. Very interesting teams here. Gentlemen, as we take a look at these teams, is there any kind of matchups that stand out?
Honestly, the Toxicroak looks pretty strong on KiengIV's side. Has nice play against virtually this entire team. Obviously, the Lul and Marowak, maybe even the Mandibuzz might be a little bit tricky depending on what moveset it's running. But that's looking pretty strong. What else are you liking, Holesome, Speediest?
Yeah, so you know what, the depending on the moveset there for that Surf Edge, it could absolutely have some play, right? I mean, if we look at the Whiscash, it can do very well. If we look versus the Melmetal, it can do very well. Even versus that Sableye, right? It does have some play if it's running the Night Slash there as well. But it also does have some pretty hard counters as well. So it's going to be feast or famine there for that Surf Etched. I don't know about the Venusaur on the side of Chicago CornDogs. Obviously, it has a very nice matchup versus the Whiscash there, but has a lot of things that can resist its damage overall. So we'll have to see if that one comes into play. I'd love to see some Regirock play from the side of Kieng. But yeah, those are just some of my initial impressions.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Wholesome. I think we have to see Regirock. I think if you don't contain Talonflame, it's just going to totally rip through your team here. You look at some of these targets that are not going to survive a Brave Bird, even a Lola Marowak will not appreciate that. Mandibuzz can tank it, but it won't enjoy it. And then the Lapras, you have to get those 4 Ice Shards to get to 1 Surf, and it's still not enough to KO. I think if KiengIV goes for shield advantage and tries to close with the Talonflame, there's going to be very few things that Kieng can do to stop her. I think it's going to be really difficult. But without further ado, let's get right into the games. 2-3, Chicago CornDogs and Cool Cats respectively. KiengIV looking to build on a lead here early on in Go Team Up World Championships.
Alrighty.
This would have been a tempting double down on the Cool Cat side.
All right, well, KiengIV with a pretty nice lead here with the Melmetal, hitting for super effective with all of its moves. Now, that said, Kieng able to get to the Surf here pretty quickly, and this Surf definitely does some good neutral damage versus the Melmetal. Let's see how this one plays out here for sure.
So when you see these initial lead Pokemon, you already start to get the gears turning. You think, what's in the back? How are they going to support this? What are they going to check versus the Melmetal Lapras leads?
Yeah, no, if you're Kieng, really your whole team has some vulnerabilities here to this Melmetal, so I think that's influencing some of the decision making. Let me go ahead and stay in, maybe shield up one time here, and try and threaten maybe a shield with this Surf here. So we do see the shield come out on the second Rock Slide here. What that allows it to do is get to another Surf here, maybe threatening to put it in a even shielding scenario here. KiengIV, not knowing what's in the back, obviously, not knowing the strength this Melmetal might potentially have, choosing to shield up though either way. Right.
Yeah, she has to know that there's a Marowak in the back. Like if you're leading a Lapras.
Yeah, very common there. So Melmetal obviously has the superior matchup there, going to be taking the lead here. We don't see any switch outs right away, but Kieng chooses to come in and try and fire spin down. This Melmetal from the side of KiengIV will make it to a Rock Slide here. This is a non-stab Rock Slide, but it's still going to hit pretty hard for super effective.
Okay. The shield.
So Kieng decides to shield. Okay. So for KiengIV here, you've got a pretty nice Mon that's able to come in here. You bring in your Sableye, which is able to build to those foul plays very quickly, and without a shield, it's gonna really threaten this AWAC here. Okay. If you are Kieng, I was gonna say it might be smart to go ahead and swap out.
It
is an air slash.
Yes,
that is huge for Kieng.
That's actually a really nice moveset, because otherwise this Toxicroak would have really strong matchups almost across the board.
Yeah, you go from resisted snarls to super effective air slashes, which provides way more pressure here on this Toxicroak here. All right, Sludge Bomb does come through. No shields remaining, but if you're Keenbart here, you're actually going to make it to this Aerial Ace right when it gets to the Mud Bomb.
Ooh, this is
And
big.
yeah, I mean, this Mud Bomb is not going to KO, and you're going to get to this other move here. This is looking okay for Kochinamum for sure.
Yeah, I think definitely the farm down, but you're a little bit concerned if you're Keenbart about.
Oh man. Oh yeah, has the move right. Okay. Keenbart
So
No, they'll definitely air slash down. Yeah,
yeah,
gonna be
this
too
is it. This is it. Just
Yeah.
too much HP there. I think that air. It went from a very winnable game there for Kochinamum, if it had Snarl, I think, to a very one-sided game because of air slash. One fast move, choice there really, I think, dictated the outcome of that game. It would have been close. Let's be real, right? It's not like that was just a one-sided matchup with that Toxicroak, but it would have obviously been able to have a lot more HP from that lack of fast move pressure.
Yeah, the Mandibuzz was really great there. So
Yeah. All right. Well, Keenbart, despite having some struggles early on, was able to kind of ride to victory on the wings of Mandibuzz there.
Absolutely. I think one of the key decisions there was not trying to force the charge move against the Toxicroak. As we saw, the Sableye already had some energy. Mandibuzz was very weak. I think if you throw the possible move there, you deny yourself some energy. The Sableye might be able to come in, maybe get off the foul play, and then maybe it's a whole new ball game. But I really like the commitment to the air slash farm down. And again, chat, I cannot stress it enough. We're in a brand new pair here. This is an information gathering game. Kochinamum just saw the air slash, and she is already thinking about how to come back. Keenbart has to be very content here. He knows he's got to contain Toxicroak, and he did a phenomenal job of that in game one. We're all tied up 3-3 with both teams here. Let's get into the next game. This is game two, Kochinamum versus Keenbart.
All right. Keenbart coming in with the AWAC once again. Kochinamum, very nice lead here with the Purified Sableye. Immediate swap out here on the side of Keenbart over to the Lapras here with Kochinamum properly swapping out to the Melmetal as well. Good lead, good swap here for Kochinamum. A little bit behind in the energy, however. Let's see if that has any influence on how this matchup plays out. Chooses to no shield to Surf, probably smart. Gonna go ahead and just build probably just before. Ooh, does get an extra ice shard.
yeah, that's actually going to be a little bit costly. It's going to force the.
So this Lapras is now going to outpace to the second Surf versus the second Rock Slide. Which, if you're in this position now, you kind of have to shield as Kochinamum if you want to keep switch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As long as she doesn't.
Needs to be counting ice shards here. Probably could have gotten a little bit more here.
So in these neutral matchups, a lot of it comes down to pacing. We know the Melmetal needs the 5 Thunder Shocks versus the 4 Ice Shards, 2 turns versus 3 turns. Most of the time, Melmetal wins and even shields. But here comes another Surf from Lapras, putting a lot of pressure on Kochinamum.
All right, so we see more shields coming out here on the side of Kochinamum. Now it's completely down shields. Keenbart really going after the
That's actually really not good for Kochinamum here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the energy advantage plus those extra ice shards really proved tough for
the farm now. Yeah, we're gonna see the farm down here.
Is it gonna make it? Oh, it throws the superpower. I think that was a bit of a panic throw.
Oh, but she gets the shield anyway.
But
either way, I think that Keenbart recognizes that it could have been the Rock Slide, so it really had no outcome on the battle here.
You Altaria here.
You got to make a call on what's in the back.
Answers. You have 2 nice answers, but here's the problem: is this Sableye comes in, and even if it wins this matchup here, you're gonna have your Altaria lined up versus Regirock here, so. This is going to be really tough. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's actually a little bit better for.
This is good for Kochinamum here.
Yeah.
And Kochinamum knows, hey, I'm not going to swap out here. I know what you've got. You've revealed your whole lineup. I got to go get to another foul play here before you get to the Stone Edge.
It's gonna outpace.
Oh, but unable to make it.
Yeah, it's gonna outpace by a turn. It got a lockout on the switch in, so it was only 5 seconds away. Versus the Sableye needs 6 seconds to get to the move.
All right. Well, I think that you have nowhere to go at this point for this Altaria. You're going to get outpaced to this Stone Edge here, and even if you hang on, which I think you do,
I think you have to farm down. You have to
farm down. Double Sky Attack, perhaps.
Yeah.
Can you farm down here? Yeah.
It's your only play.
is
The
too.
fire-
Ooh, a little bit of lag coming in here.
Catching up.
It's
All
strong
right.
play.
Recognizes it, trying to get the farm down. Able
Oh,
to get
she
the
got the
farm
farm
down
down.
just before the Stone Edge. That's huge.
She
All right,
gets
how much
the-
energy does this AWAC have?
Ooh, that fire spin getting through is not great, but she will make it to 2 sky attacks.
Two Sky Attacks doesn't do it without a little bit of Dragon Breath help.
Oh, can she
Gets
do it?
there, though. Oh man, wins.
This is big.
Gets there. I think a half turn or 1 turn before gets to the Bone Club. I think this is gonna do it. I think this is gonna. Oh,
Wow.
man. Huge
Yeah,
play by Christina
She
Mum.
made the 100% correct play by farming down. Like the only way you win there was the farm down, and
man.
it was really nice on Cochino
That
Mom's
Stone Edge did 85% roughly of her HP, able to get the farm down with 0 fast move pressure coming from the lock on,
Yeah.
able to get the farm down just before that second Stone Edge comes out, and then able to throw the second Sky Attack just before the Bone Club from the AWAC. That's as close as it gets, guys. Let's see some hype in the chat for sure.
Yeah, that was really well done. Brilliant end game plan there to pull out the win. Yeah, fantastic game. Fantastic game on both sides. The Lapras stay switch there was really nice. The farm down.
Oh, yeah. That was so back and forth, King, because it started out on the side of Cochinamum with great lead and great switch, but due to some energy differentials there, we started to see things lean in the favor of Keenbart, and then when we start seeing the Regirock matched up against that Altaria, you're starting to think this is Keenbart's game to lose, and Cochinamum barely able to get there. So great play there by Cochinamum for sure.
Absolutely. When we see this Regirock, the Stone Edge is a little bit faster of a move than we're used to when we see a Reggie. Traditionally, we see the Flash Cannon and the Focus Blast, but Stone Edge's pacing is what throws a lot of trainers off. It can be really difficult to predict when these moves are coming. As we saw, she tried to outpace with the Sableye. I was anticipating maybe a swap out, but now that Cochinamum knows the pacing, she's more familiar with it. She has a feel for it. I think she plants her feet in the ground and she pushes back here against Keenbart to take that victory. Let's get into the next game. Keenbart, he's got some work to do, but don't count him out. He's here for a reason.
This is staying super close. I don't think we've ever gotten more than 1 battle delta here on the side here. So it's great to see the evenness in these two teams.
Absolutely. Taking a look here. Surfetch lead into Altaria.
Right. This is great for Cochinamum here. Let's see what this Surfetch is carrying. We see Leaf Blade and Night Slash does get 1 counter and then immediately brings in the Lapras. The double super effective Ice Shards coming through there, forces out the Altaria and brings in Cochinamum's Whiscash here. All right, these Surfs do hit for neutral here. Going to do a nice little chunk there against Cochinamum. Weak connection, everyone's favorite thing to see appear on their screen in the middle of battle.
The spinning wheel of death, as they say.
Anything though, yeah. King, I don't know who wins this matchup here.
Lapras definitely wins this matchup.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know that this is really a great counter here on the side of Cochinamum. This is gonna be tough to recover from.
Yeah, if Mud Bomb wasn't such a bad move, then this would be a little bit more palatable. But I think if you're Cochinamum, you're gonna have to likely concede switch with it or give up a shield advantage.
So let's talk about team compositions. As we see here on the right side, Cochinamum bringing the Altaria, the Sableye, and the Whiscash. If she hates Alola Marowak any more than she's making obvious, I don't see it happening.
Unfortunately, no Alolan Marowak on Keenbart's side.
Exactly. And I think that then you have to default and say, where's that Regirock? Is it lurking back there? And she just gave up her best answer to Regirock.
This is super tough. You're down a shield and you lose switch. Oh man, I don't know what you really are going to be doing here on the side of Cochinamum. Brings in the Surfetch here up against the Sableye here.
Ooh, Keenbart.
This is pretty rough. That was a nice play by Keenbart. I'm not gonna. This is. I think if you're Cochinamum, you're gonna have to try to catch a Leaf Blade.
If you're counting here as Keenbart, you know that this is a foul play that you resist.
Shield.
So know that you can tank this here. These Shadow Claws are definitely going to be.
Okay.
See the swap out there. I think that's a smart play, right? You do get the nice farm down. Cochinamum not knowing what's in the back here though. This time the Regirock does have some shields ready to go.
Yeah, I'm seeing the Oh, okay, no, it doesn't.
Even the Lapras is still a really nice play up against this Altaria here. Oh man, here comes the second shield for Cochinamum. You're now down 2 shields with an Altaria up against a Regirock. your back is up against the wall here at this point. A massive rock stands in front of your.
Oh, I was gonna say she's stuck between a rock
A
and
rock in a hard place.
Yeah.
Still the words from my mouth.
Yeah.
Here comes the shield from the Regirock, maybe anticipating the Dragon Pulse. She's going to outpace to a second Sky Attack. Maybe the play is the catch here, but even then, no shield coming from the Regirock. He recognizes that this is probably another Sky Attack.
Yeah, realizes this is not the Dragon Pulse here, knows that you resist this, can tank it probably just fine. Doesn't want it to get too low though, chooses to not overfarm too much and just go ahead and throw this. Take out the Altaria here, should safely be able to remove all of its HP. There it goes. All right, well, I think we will see a quick race to this last charge move here, but Keenbart with a shield and is able to slightly outpace this the Sableye here, able to secure the victory and tie the series up 4-4 for the Chicago CornDogs. Very nicely played by Keenbart. Really had no answer there for that Lapras, huh?
Oh man, Keenbart scaring away the Toxicroak in game 1 and just doubling down with tanks in the back is just super nice on Keenbart's side.
Absolutely. As we play out these matches, you will see some strategies unfold. Everyone remembers what you saw in game 1, the things that went wrong. You tried to avoid those similar situations, and we saw Keenbart taking advantage of that. We played 8 total games, which means we are on game number 4 here for Keenbart versus Kachinamom, all tied up. Like you said, Holesome, let's see if these competitors can get a couple of wins here.
If I'm Kachinamom, I'm going to try and steal a victory here with my Melmetal again. Hey, there it is.
I like the Melmetal lead. It looks like Lapras has the Surfetch behind it, and here comes the Alola Marowak.
Alrighty, so we do have a hard punish here on the side of Kachinamom coming in with the Altaria. This has a very nice matchup here versus Keenbart's AWAC. Smart play to go ahead and just go straight for the Shadow Bone, hoping for this debuff here that might influence some of the shields. Shield's the first one though, a bit interesting.
Not 100%, because if I'm Keenbart, there's just no way I shield this. Okay. Oh, she's gonna farm extra. Okay, that makes sense too.
Alrighty, the second Shadow Bone coming through here. There was no debuff. This is going to hit for the same as the last one here. This time we also see no defense drop. Can definitely farm up a little bit more here. Probably could have gotten a little bit more on the side of Kachinamom, but very close to a second move here already. Goes ahead, and I think if you're Keenbart, you just let this one go and be happy that you were able to secure one shield on the side of Kachinamom there.
I think if you're Kachinamom, you throw the Sky Attack and you bail out.
It's going to be tough when this Lapras comes in here for sure. Yeah,
you can't let this Lapras farm down.
Yeah, that's gonna just give it, close to 2 surfs, right? And that's definitely not what you want when your next answer coming back in is going to be Toxicroak or Melmetal here. Does let the farm down go through here. That's a lot of energy here on the side of this Lapras. Yes, you do have 2 good responses, but you're down a shield here, and these surfs both hit for neutral. Something you have to respect for sure.
Comes in Toxicroak.
All right, Toxie can definitely tank one of these. Chooses to no shield here. You kind of have to.
This is a very curious decision to me. I feel like Toxicroak resisting the counters from the Surfetch. You go ahead, you bring in the Melmetal, you soak the energy, and then you try to counter through.
Catch surf here. Okay, pretty nice play.
Oh man, this Surfetch is gonna come in. Oh, this Surfetch is gonna come in and run wild
here. Yeah, this shield advantage. I think you just the outcome of this game. You do get a counter through on the side of the card as well.
I think you had the superpower there to
deny some extra farm.
Yeah, minimize the farm. Not that it made a huge difference there, but there's just no.
Yeah. Even at this range, despite resisting all of the moves here from the Surfetch, you got a shield just to preserve your HP and at least get a move off here. Goes with the Mud Bomb. I think at this point you probably could have just thrown the Sludge Bomb. You're only going to get to one either way. Either way, Keenbart decides to shield. Going to farm down this Toxicroak here at this point. These counters are resisted, but you only need 3 of them. Chooses to just make the safe play. Let's throw this Leaf Blade here. Take out the Toxicroak here. And that is going to be a victory here on the side of Keenbart. Catapulting the Chicago CornDogs into a 5-4 lead with 1 match left to go here in this set.
Yeah, honestly, really nice safe switches by Keenbart. And came out with the advantage. Either comes out with switch or shield advantage and use that to carry to victory.
Lapras with 2 counters, the Melmetal and the Toxicroak, able to get a lot of value because of like what King said, the farm down versus that Altaria.
Yeah, I think there were two ways you could have played it. I think King made a really good point. He said you could swap out and try to deny the farm, but then you hand that Melmetal over to Surfetched, which I think could be a little problematic in its own. I think alignment was very critical there. If you send the Melmetal in to soak energy from Lapras, at least you give yourself a chance to come in with the Toxicroak and utilize those super effective counters, leverage that poison typing, that resist counter, and maybe there's a way you can fast move your way to victory. But that was really difficult. I think alignment was key there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think when you say switch there, generally you should say switch to your third Pokemon, because normally they would come in with like one of their not as hard counters to draw out, and then they have their hard counter in the back, and you hope that your third can beat their third in that situation. But it would have been pretty tough.
Let's see what happens here. Can GOTeamUp and the Cool Cats tie up the series, or are we going to see a 6-4 advantage here on the side of the Chicago CornDogs? Apparently, by the way, if you name your team Double C, CC, catapults you into the finals there. So,
Absolutely.
Observation.
In this final game here, I'd love to see some Talent Flame. I hyped it up before the match started. We haven't seen it one single time. Let's see if GOTeamUp decides to unleash the Phoenix here against Keen Bart. Decisive Game 5.
Here we go, bringing back the Melmetal once again up against the AWAC here. You can definitely put some pressure out there with those rock slides here, but you are taking super effective fast move damage, and even that Bone Club, right, kind of threatens you as the steel typing there. Able to get the Fire Spin through. I think GOTeamUp is just going to rock slide and dip. Let's see what the strategy is here for GOTeamUp.
I think she kind of has to stay, right? Because she has the Toxicroak.
Oh yeah.
You definitely just no shield this. I think you 100% no shield this. And then you live the bone club.
Bone Club, despite being super effective, is just such a bad move, non-stat move. You live it, no problem here. Get to that second rock slide. Okay, I think then on the side of Keen Bart, you know that you live this one here. It's gonna hurt, but you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So when we look at roles here, we have two.
Was that a CMP?
Was it?
It must have been. Which is interesting because it was charge move, charge move, charge move, all back to back to back.
It's nice undercharger, but
It's a couple additional fast moves, okay. But now you have Altaria to just come and farm down. This is looking good for GOTeamUp.
Very good.
The challenge that you have here is that you have Lapras coming in here. You bring in
a air slash man
air slash,
but she is up a shield. But the fast move pressure is going to be...
The fast move pressure is too much. It's just too much here. You can easily tank this and then basically eliminate this Toxicroak. It's locked in. You're not going to be able to line that Toxicroak up versus the Lapras here. And then what that means is that in the back, you have Altaria versus Lapras, and there's just nothing you can really do there.
Yeah, I think this is I don't know, maybe the right play?
I don't know. Throwing up the shield there, going to try to get to the Sludge Bomb. That's the only way to KO. She gets there, which is good. But I think you need to go for...
You're dead at this point, right? You're toxic.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's just even regardless of the shields here at this point.
You have 2 counters on this.
3.
3 counters.
3 counters off. That's pretty nice.
She does have energy advantage, though. Let's see. She needs to land probably one Sky Attack.
There's a Skull Bash. No. Okay, no, not going to Skull Bash.
Going for the Surf here. GOTeamUp shielding this one. This is going to be nice on the side of Keen Bart here. I think GOTeamUp knows that Skull Bash would be putting her in a very tough position.
Ooh, this is going to be really close.
Here. If you're Keen Bart, you shield. It doesn't matter, right? You don't care what you're shielding. You just need to shield one move.
I think you got to go...
how close is this going to be?
This is going to be really close.
Oh, okay. I think she had to go...
Getting that Ice Shard through. A lot of damage.
Dragon Pulse there?
Even the Surf won't KO. She needs a few more Dragon Breaths.
KO.
Oh, the Ice Shard coming through is so bad.
This is going to be so close. This is going to be so close.
I think one more Ice Shard, right?
Or one more Ice Shard, I think, is going to do it. Oh, man. Coming in there. Keen Bart able to secure it. I think that Ice Shard actually influenced the game there. Absolutely the one that snuck through during the charge move there. Okay, well... What that means is that Chicago CornDogs, now with back-to-back 3-2s, taking a 2-game advantage versus the Cool Cats, 6-4 here after 2 games. It is still anyone's matchup at this point. Very close games across the board here. We are seeing single fast moves determine the fate of these battles here. So this has been really, really close.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Brilliant mind games on Keen Bart's side to scare away the Toxicroak. make it a little bit comfortable coming back in, and then coming back with the Mandibus to make it very difficult for the Toxic Crow. So really brilliant play.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is a lot of role division as well. I think that there were two answers to the Altaria. He had the Regirock and he also had the Lapras. As we saw in the first couple of games, he kind of went back and forth. There was a Regirock, we did see the Lapras, but then he settled on that Lapras because of its play against the Melmetal, because of its utility against a lot of different matchups. And I think Keenbart just made incredible adjustments to stay on top of Kachina Mum and not allow her to get any wiggle room. I think there were a couple things maybe we could have done differently with energy management in the closing moments there, but I really feel like that was extremely well played and a lot of fun to watch by both competitors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Brilliant.
guys, we're now in the third set of matches here, and you know what that means? We haven't seen it yet. It's the double down, not the Deoxys defense. It's the double down coming in here. Burnibus here, very, very talented battler. We saw him last week going crazy, making some really, really nice plays. Going to be earning double points on every victory here. We saw some really nice play from the Zweilous last time. And you know what? I think the Zweilous has some really nice matchups here versus Caleb's team as well. So I'm going to be curious to see how he utilizes it here. The one thing I'm a bit worried of is on Burnibus' side, does this Wigglytuff have a lot of play? I mean, I think it does nice versus the Pelipper, and it can obviously chunk some of those, anything that it hits neutral for. But Venusaur, Wallface, also known as Bastiodon?
Yeah.
Oh, man. What do you think about these teams here, King?
This is pretty interesting. I think the Reggie has some fantastic play on Burnibus' side as well. So I could definitely see Reggie's Wireless coming in, and then either the Wiggly or Jellicent as coverage, or even the Cresselia. It's very polarizing, right? Because this Machamp is going to be pretty strong against the Reggie and Zweilous, but it has some like pretty difficult Pokemon to deal with.
So what's interesting is that Mew does super, super nice versus, you know, the top three Mons there, right? Versus the Cresselia, versus the Machamp, versus the Jellicent there. But that Wigglytuff resisting the Shadow Claws makes things very tough for the Mew there. And the Zweilous obviously resisting the Shadow Claws, resisting everything most likely that this Mew has. It's going to be a really, really nice Mon for sure. So I think it's going to come down, we say this a lot, but it really might come down to the alignment for how these trainers place in mind games and win leads or win switches. We've seen Burnibus before, losing lead, losing switch, and still pulling off some crazy plays. So I'm curious to see how this one plays out.
Absolutely. I just want to point out Caleb Ping in the interview was trying to extract information from Burnibus. Burnibus very kind, not offering much up, but we do see him doubling down against his fellow team captain here. I have one Mon for you, gentlemen. I think Frostlass with energy could run wild over Burnibus's team if he does not contain it. You do have to watch out for Wiggly and the Registeel, but man, you land a couple of Shadow Balls, a couple of Avalanches, those matchups go down as well.
Yeah, and the advantage that Frostlass has over the Mew as well. Though it doesn't carry the Shadow Claw, which is going to do nicer versus the Jellicent and versus the Cresselia there, it does have it does have access to the moves that it can actually get for super effective, or sorry, it can hit for neutral. So, I think that they both might serve similar roles. It really depends on what Burnibus is going to be bringing in response.
All right, chat. Let's get some hype going. I think we're almost ready. Burnibus versus Caleb Ping. This is game one of the team captains. Burnibus will earn 2 points for every victory. He's looking to put the CornDogs ahead in this midway match in the GO TeamUp World Championships.
Yeah, no, so this is a reverse of the previous one, because I think Caleb doubled down on Burnibus.
All right, we see the Mew immediately come out. Let's see Caleb's moveset here. Is running the Wild Charge and Surf, probably the most common moveset that you see today. Burnibus decides to stay in, knowing that he can actually get to this Rock Slide here and hit for some very strong damage. A lot of folks on their Mews like to build up to maybe 2 Wild Charges here. Looks like Burnibus just trying to get some chip damage versus this Mew. Wow, that hits hard.
Honestly, that's way more than chip damage, right?
That is more than chip damage.
It's an interesting shield here.
You see the counter through?
Counter down. Oh, gets to the
you double shield, right? You double shield here?
I don't know. This is a lot of energy. This is a lot of energy you're giving up here.
I think you live this surf, though, right?
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 1 HP. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. wins the switch. That is a ballsy call. Unable to get there. The damage from the powder snow, recognizing before the energy is realized from for the cross chop there. Immediately swaps out here to the Cresselia. These Psycho Cuts are hitting for super effective. These Rock Slides are going to hit for neutral. But man, this is tough here. This is tough.
I mean, you mentioned before the cast, the alignment could be key. We see Shadow Machamp from both sides, but it looks like we have the Psychics lined up against them. The Frostlass versus that Registeel. We still have 1 shield in play for Burnibus and 2 for Caleb, so I do think he has play. Let's see how this shakes out.
Yeah, if you're Burnibus here, that shield was definitely worth it to get this alignment proper. If you had your Registeel up against that Machamp, it's just game over. So being able to hang on with 1 HP and secure that switch advantage is proving very, very crucial here on the side of Burnibus.
Yeah, this grass knot play was really nice. I actually wasn't sure if the grass knot was the right move to throw against that Machamp, but it ended up being really nice here on this grass knot.
Oh man, really nice timing there from Caleb. Right as he gets to that second grass knot, throws the avalanche here. Burnibus does not care to get that grass knot off, goes down. So now what do we have here? We have Registeel up against an energy advantage, 2 shielded Frostlass here. These lock-ons are doing negative damage, frankly. They're doing absolutely nothing. I think that Caleb's in a pretty nice spot here with this big energy advantage and shield advantage.
Does 2 Shadow Balls KO the Reggie, though?
I think it definitely will.
Sure.
Yeah.
It'll come down to it. I know that these powder snows are resisted, but they're definitely doing more damage than those lock-ons for sure.
A lot of trainers have already done the math in their head. You need to land 2 Shadow Balls. You need to get to 3 Flash Cannons. This matchup might already be decided, but let's see. Shadow Ball coming through here.
Definitely
Shadow
more
Ball's
than
gonna do it, no problem here. Goes for the Focus Blast here. Caleb has the next shield ready to go. It's going to come down to who gets this move off. Will it be Burnibus with the Flash Cannon or Caleb with the Shadow Ball? Caleb has the energy advantage here. Burnibus trying to make it, but Caleb able to get to the Shadow Ball just before Burnibus gets to the Flash Cannon. That's going to secure it. Despite losing lead there, Caleb with the shield advantage, able to secure the victory on the back of Frostlass.
Can we point out as well the no shield from the Grass Knot
That was
on that
huge.
Frostlass?
Yeah.
Massive. Yeah.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
you get hit by a Moonblast there, who knows what could end up happening there. And let's be real, great counting by Caleb as well. When he gets to that when Burnibus gets to that second Grass Knot,
That's perfect.
Caleb
That's
is
perfect.
tied with the Avalanche to barely take out and get every single additional powder snow. Let's say that Caleb throws right away there. Maybe Caleb doesn't make it to that last Shadow Ball and Burnibus gets to the Flash Cannon. So just absolutely expert level play coming out of Caleb here, and able to take a point off and deny 2 points. Let's think about that. It's not just getting the point; it's denying 2 points for the Chicago CornDog for the double down. So really nice play from Caleb.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Really love to see it. Caleb playing well surprises literally nobody. We know he's one of the best trainers in the world. But Burnibus is also extremely talented as well. Let's go ahead and jump into game 2. As Holesome pointed out, 2 points awarded there to the victor in game 1.
Well, 1 point for the side of Cool Cats, but denying Chicago CornDogs 2 points there.
Mm.
All right, here's the Mew again, this time versus the Registeel. All right, what are we going to see here? Looks like they're staying in.
Pretty neutral matchup here.
Absolutely. Both individuals can tank a move. These Flash Cannons do absolutely hurt, right? Caleb choosing to once again no shield his Mew. Just go ahead and build up a bunch of energy here and unleash it. Just a minute here. All right, makes it to right at 2 wild charges here. It looks like Burnibus saying, "Hey, I can take this, no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go."
Yeah, and then
Gonna throw probably just before he gets to the second Flash Cannon. There it is, coming through with the Surf this time, expecting a shield from Burnibus perhaps.
let's see. Oh, it does shield.
Nice play on the side of Caleb Ping. All right, gets to the Flash Cannon here. I think we see Caleb shield this one up, go ahead and farm up a bit more energy before these lock-ons are going to be KOing, and try and come out of this matchup here with some additional energy, maybe even 2 moves. Nothing
this
really
is-
on the
Oh
side.
my gosh, I'm seeing the Kayla's backline. One Pokemon is likely to sweep Burnibus' team in the back.
All right, not a lot of residual energy. Do you swap out your Mew, or do you just keep the switch advantage here and get farmed down by the Wiggly here?
I think if the Wiggly comes in, I think you have to let it farm down. Oh,
brings in the Cresselia. This is going to be a ginormous farm down here. He is double debuffed, I believe, at this point here from these wild charges, or quadruple debuffed since it is a 2-stage debuff. This last wild charge actually has no impact on the defense whatsoever. Burnibus saying, hey, I know that you're quadruple debuffed. I'm going to use these Psycho Cuts, a very low damage move, to farm down and get a huge energy advantage. However, the Venusaur comes in here at the point.
Man, Caleb, immediately no
all
shit. Burnibus hasn't even showed that he doesn't have Future Sight.
That's true.
True. We have not seen the Moonblast.
That was a very...
That's the call from Caleb.
Yeah.
Ooh, CMP tie here. Frenzy Plant coming through. Is this enough to take down the Cresselia?
It should be enough.
All right, that is enough.
It's just
Cresselia
tricky.
goes down with a lot of energy. Wiggly coming in. Yeah, this Venusaur is definitely a good mon here for Burnibus's back line. Going to be able to get to 2 Frenzy Plants before Burnibus is able to get to a single charge move here.
You gotta no shit.
Burnibus probably saying, hey, I have nowhere to go here. Let's let this one go. Nope, decides to shield it. Going to just immediately eat a sludge here very quickly before Caleb is taken out by fast move damage. Really, really nice alignment and mon choice here on the side of Caleb. That's going to take out Burnibus's Wiggly. Doesn't even have to show the back mon in this case here. Really nicely played by Caleb.
This is looking pretty rough with the CornDogs. Losing the first 2 games in your double down is
Definitely Burnibus needs to get some value out of this double down here. He has 3 more opportunities to try and get some points. We could see this definitely catapult and go to 12-6 here on the side of the CornDogs. But if Caleb's able to secure some more victories, he's going to keep this incredibly close with the Chicago CornDogs, or with the Cool Cats rather, still having their double down left for the final set of matches.
Exactly right. I think we saw some interesting role compression going on there. We saw the Registeel and the Wigglytuff, 2 Pokemon that are great answers for that Frostlass, which was such a problem, such a nuisance for Burnibus in game 1. And then we saw that Registeel go down, clearing the way for Venusaur to have tons and tons of play. So it looks like Caleb maybe had the upper hand there in terms of strategy and team composition for that game. But without further ado, let's get into the next one.
If I'm Burnibus, I want to bring my Zweilous here.
Oh, big lead.
Caleb coming out with the hard punch. This is the last thing you want to see on the side of Burnibus. Caleb go ahead and stays in here versus this Zweilous here. Definitely doesn't want to bring in his Mew. His Venusaur doesn't have a great lead either. I think that Burnibus probably understands here at this point that Caleb is weak to his Zweilous, which I think we kind of understood coming into this matchup here. Zweilous has a lot of positive matchups versus Caleb's team. All right,
this is interesting. Go ahead,
Caleb coming out here with this Stone Edge here. Lets it go. Yeah, okay.
That's pretty rough here.
You're just going to get farmed down here. Able to get to the Body Slam, but this does basically nothing.
This does.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
It's like patting
Doesn't
the
even tickle.
Basta on the head. Be like,
It's like trying to shoot a bow and arrow at Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's not even going to...
that's pretty bad here.
All right. So at this point, you do have the Registeel, which is probably your best matchup versus this Basti, but this Basti's loaded on energy. It's going to get a flamethrower through here. Oh, man. You have to take out this Basti with your Registeel here for sure. Chooses to go ahead and shield it up. You know what? You know what Burnibus is not going to like against his Wigglytuff in the back here? Once again, that Venusaur.
Yeah, I like that Flash Cannon then farm down.
Mm-hmm. Making the most out of a bad situation. Burnibus going for the Flash Cannon so he can lock on down here.
To the flamethrower so close.
No.
All right. That's a great play by Burnibus there. Very heads up smart play. Able to probably get some shield pressure now, having this energy advantage with its Registeel.
Now here's the thing: if Burnibus,
Caleb knows what's in the back, right? It's the Wiggly.
Yeah.
but if Burnibus believes it's Frostlass, he still thinks he has play here, but not anymore.
No.
Oof. All I can say is oof. Can we get some Fs in chat here for Burnibus's Wigglytuff here? Doesn't have a lot of places to go here, unfortunately. Now, the Registeel is still plenty healthy. I don't want to call this game before it's over, right? But this matchup here in particular is very one-sided on the side of Caleb. Goes ahead and throws the move and takes him out here. Registeel going to farm up as much energy as possible with really no need to shield anything coming out of this Venusaur. Frenzy Plant's still a very good move, though. Going to do some chip damage here.
Oh, man, this is looking really rough for Burnibus here.
As you saw there, Barnabas pulling the trigger on the flash cannon, but Caleb was doing his counting. He knew that he could CMP tie, continue to chip the Registeel and make things easier for Mew, who is loaded on energy. My gosh.
You can go
man.
straight through here. You're so far ahead. You've got a shield.
I think you just
This is over for Barnabas here.
but
You know, made some really good moves, right? Let's be honest. Made some really nice plays. But when you've got your Wiggly up against a Basti and your best answer to come in is that Zweilous, and then you have a Venusaur to double counter your your Wiggly. I don't know if you can bring Wiggly again this time. It's tough.
oh man.
Do we need
Caleb is
evacuate here? I'm hearing some
unreal
alarm.
here.
Is that maybe the double down alarm?
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh. As we saw there, yeah, Caleb very, very strategic with his picks, just really out-comping Barnabas almost at every turn here. It's been really difficult for him to get any kind of advantage, which is unfortunate. And then you see so much Registeel, and Caleb Ping says, I don't even care. I'm going to lead Bastiodon, which is just such a wild play, but Caleb Ping is going to be the one to make it. If anybody can do it, Caleb can do it.
For me, I want to see on the side of Barnabas, I want to see Zweilous again, right? I think that it kind of has to come out here. And for the Venusaur, for the Mew, and I want to see Jellicent. You know, maybe there's a chance for the Jellicent to do something that your Wiggly is not. We'll see.
Absolutely. What? It's pretty Jelly King, as they said.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, let's see how this last game goes. The CornDogs really need this win here.
Absolutely.
All right, we see the Wigglytuff once again here coming out
Good
from
lead.
Barnabas here. This time does have a nice lead versus Caleb there. Brings in immediately the
Ooh.
Frostlass. Okay, I don't really know who takes this in the 2 shield. I think that that Caleb's gonna slightly outpace these Shadow Balls here, but you really have to shield up these flash cannons coming out from Barnabas.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily need to win Switch if you're a Barnabas here, because both your Pokemon are good against Mew.
Interesting that you shield the first one here. Let's see what happens here. Chooses to let it go. I think that Caleb was happy with getting a shield. Okay.
But Barnabas looks like in a really good spot right here, despite down his shield.
Definitely.
This Zweilous is
It's itching to go, right? The only matchup we've seen it paired up against is the Bastiodon. It
Yeah.
really wants to get into a favorable position here.
Caleb farming up just before he gets to the flash cannon. Really nice counting, guys. As a reminder, these are the most elite battlers that you're going to find here in the Pokemon Go scene. Very, very nice counting and gets to that wild charge. Should be able to get to... Oh! Gets the second wild charge, but comes and catches it here on the Zweilous. Really, really nice play out on the side of Barnabas. This is going to be a resisted non-stab wild charge.
yeah, Caleb's in a pretty difficult spot right now.
Yeah, and this
But
Venusaur...
is up a shield though, so
This Venusaur Frenzy Plants, they're definitely going to be resisted. Have to go for the Sludge Bomb. Slightly worse move. Chooses to throw the Frenzy Plant regardless, which, to be frank, Frenzy Plant even resisted still chunks versus a Zweilous. Definitely gets the shield here. Wants to get all this energy out versus this Venusaur. Got to start forcing some shields. Throws just before he gets to the second one. Barnabas knowing that, hey, I have counted 11 Vine Whips at this point. You are one away from your next Frenzy. I'm going to go ahead and throw both of my Body Slams before you get to this Frenzy Plant. Caleb does get the Vine Whip through here at this point. Not before Barnabas is able to get to the second Body Slam, forcing both of the shields. Really nice play on the side of Barnabas here. Forced to throw his Frenzy Plant too, which is going to be a bit tough now when this Wiggly likely comes in. And nope, chooses to bring in the Registeel here and take out this Venusaur to have a safer matchup for the Wiggly. May have been able to farm down on Wiggly, but definitely does not want to get hit by any charge moves from that Venusaur.
I agree. Here comes Wigglytuff.
When you're a Charmer, you don't need any farm. You just need Charm, right?
You just need Charm.
You just
No
need
farm.
Charm. You just need Charm.
Alrighty. Well, Barnabas getting some value out of the double down here, able to secure 2 points for the side of the Chicago CornDogs and move them back into the lead. Really needs to secure this next matchup here to take a 10-7 lead and put some pressure on the Cool Cats to get a 3-2 or to secure the victory there.
Absolutely. We're moving it to... Oh man, we're moving into game 5 here. Let's see how these trainers respond. Barnabas versus Caleb Ping. CornDogs pulling ahead just ever so slightly by 1 point. Barnabas needs a win here.
Chat, are you guys feeling the hype? I'm feeling it.
Ooh.
All right, this is good for Caleb here. Definitely, this is where he wants to see this Swilus. Obviously, you got to respect these Dark Pulses here, but you are doing some significant damage here and able to slightly outpace with these Avalanches.
Okay, I like this play here.
Does go straight for the Dark Pulse on the side of Barnabas. Caleb properly shields it up. Doesn't obviously has to respect it. All right, brings in the Registeel here at this point. Goes straight for the Shadow Ball. Will not have a move coming out of this matchup if Caleb decides to swap out at this point. Barnabas deciding to hold on to those shields here. Caleb immediately swapping out over to this Pelipper, which is the first action we've seen from it, able to really get to these moves very quickly and resist everything that Barnabas throws here. So this is a nice matchup here for Caleb. Although, despite being resisted, they still do a chunk. Look at that.
Yeah. I think if you're Barnabas here, you got no shield. You'll live this weather.
You live one and still get to a flash cannon here, so you're going to have to force the second weather ball for sure. And there it is. Do you want a shield to try and get that second shield? I think you let it go if you're Barnabas here. I think you're going to preserve your shields for your Zwilus. Perhaps just charm everything down in the back.
Yeah.
The thing I'm seeing here, though, is that you really need to have the proper alignment here. I think that, ooh, man.
Okay.
This is tough now. You're going to have your Wiggly up against this Venusaur in the end here.
Yeah, this is actually not great.
If you brought in the Wiggly, I think he would have been able to maybe have more play here. Is he going for the farm down?
You have to farm down. You have to farm
Okay.
down. Okay.
Oh, man. Catches the weather ball. That's so big. But you know what's about to happen here, though.
Yeah.
Caleb has the Venusaur.
Yeah.
Still one shield in play for both competitors.
Yeah.
I think that is he able to get to 2 frenzies before he's able to get into 1 ice beam? That's going to be the question here.
I believe this Frostless has a move.
The Frostlass, I think, is 2 Powder Snow short of an Avalanche. It's very close, though. It threw the Shadow Ball when it was at 2 Avalanches, so I think it needs.
Oh, we see the shield. This could be costly.
There it is. Able to get to the move before it's able to get to the ice beam. This is going to be a GG here. Caleb coming through with the frenzy. This will KO. There is a body slam on the side of Barnabas here, which, yep, able to get this off here. Caleb properly no shields this and should be able to powder snow down or just quickly get to a move here on his Frostlass here. Still has a shield. Yeah, only needed 1 powder snow, I think there. It was very close to a move. That is a GG on the side of Caleb. And you guys know what that means. We are all tied up here after 3 sets. Unfortunately for the Chicago CornDogs, they no longer have their double down. Caleb was able to take that 4-1 and get I think the same amount of points. Or actually, he was able to get 4 points while the Chicago CornDogs only got 2. This is exactly what we saw last week with the Elite Four and not getting almost any value out of their double down. This puts the Cool Cats in an incredibly favorable position going into these last series of games.
I agree. Barnabas is in chat. He said he was hoping for Mew in the back. You could align the Mew and the Wigglytuff. That would have been much more favorable. But Caleb making all the reads, bringing that pesky Venusaur again, just really making a world of trouble there for Barnabas in that game 5. As Holesome mentioned, we are all tied up 8-8. We have one more set to go. Before we get into it, chat, let's see some hype. This is real. This is the Go Team Up World Championships. Whoever walks away here is going to be the first ever winner of the Go Team Up World Championships. Gentlemen, what would you like to see from these competitors in this decisive final set?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm still just can't believe how Caleb was able to plant that poison of a Pokemon Venusaur in that lineup and just run wild versus the Wiggly. I think that series alone may determine this year. For the Cool Cats, I think if they win 2 games, that's it. I think that's all they need.
Yeah, that's all they need. Yeah.
Yeah. So Caravel here. I'm sorry. Just needs 2 wins here. As far as the matchups go here, though, we do see the Bastiodon on the side of Felici, and it has some really nice play, obviously, versus the Flyers, versus the Ice Mons, versus the Zwilus as well, even. But enough counters that Aravel can definitely fight back. Registeel, the Medi that we see there, as well as even the cast form, all have some good play versus the Basti there. So I think that we're going to see some Basti usage for sure, but I think that we might see double counters on the side of Aravel. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit challenging to use the Bastion, to be honest, because I think Reggie looks really strong on Caravel's side. Like, what is that? It has to worry about the Toxicroak and the Sableye, and obviously the Politoed as well. But it has like really strong matchups against the Ninetales, Bastion, and Tropius. And then Rainy Castform gives it pretty nice coverage against its counters.
I like Toxicroak. If I'm Felici, I'm running Toxicroak. No matter what, I'm bringing in every single team.
Yeah, I think Toxicroak is a really good play. I think you need to contain the Medicham as well from Caravel. In the GOTeamUp format, you do have limited picks. There are no duplicates amongst teams. And here you see Caravel carrying that Medicham, one of the best XL Pokemon, one of the most highly rated Pokemon available to trainers these days. And Felici has to account for it some way. So I'm really interested to see how he contains some of these really high level Mons. Well, with that, gentlemen, let's get into it. Felici versus Caravel. This is for all the marbles, chat. Here we go. GOTeamUp Worlds Championship final set. If you're not here, you're missing out.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm Felici, I'm running Basti, Toxicroak, Sableye. Let's see. We have the Toxicroak up against the A9 here. Okay, it does bring
Charm
a Sableye.
Tails.
It is Charm.
No Basti. This Charm is
It
very
has to
faithful
be.
here on the side of Caravel. All right. Doesn't even
First.
build up to the... I don't think he built up to the sludge there, did he?
I think he's one counter short, but
I think so too. Shielded regardless here on the side of Caravel. And then switches out the Toxie as to not get farmed down.
my gosh, this
Bring in-
Ninetales is good against the entire team.
Oh man. This is
gonna
tough.
be rough.
This is tough. Comes out with a Psy Shock and switches out to the cast form here, to the Rainy cast form. This was Powder Snow on the side of Felici, right?
It is.
And choosing to run the Psy Shock, which is a bit non-standard. I think a lot of people choose to go with Dazzling Gleam, which is the stab move, rather than the Psy Shock. This is actually nice for Felici here, able to get to the second Psy Shock here, which will not KO, but will provide a lot of pressure here versus Caravel. I think on the side of Caravel, you can just no shield and farm down at this point, though.
Yeah, I think you go for the full farm down.
Oh man, this is going to be a lot of damage. But did we get to the smart play from Caravel, knowing that the counts, knowing that Felici's going to get to that Weather Ball, which would cause Caravel to shield? Good play.
This is pretty rough.
This is tough.
This honestly, this Ninetales is just gonna.
When you still have that Charmer and you got Sableye in the back, you're gonna get your whole team farmed down here in just a second.
Oh, and the Weather Ball here is absolutely brutal.
Oh god,
Forcing the shield.
This is looking pretty bad.
King, I think we said we don't need anything else but charm at this point, do you?
Just charm.
Oh, it's swapping in the Sableye.
The foul play will KO by the time they get there. But oh my gosh, what will it cost you? Honestly, just yeah.
Yeah, a little Thanos moment. What did it cost me? It cost me everything to bring down the Ninetales, and he's still not down yet.
Oh man, not even gonna have to show the Medi here. I think just gonna.
Ooh.
Okay, does get the counter through there. That should KO. Brings the Weather Ball out here. If you're Felici, you're just saying, "Oh man, I got to bring this Basti next game. I can't get charmed like that. I need something stronger versus the charm." Although, to Speediest point, this is when you scope things out and start understanding what your opponent's running. You know that there's a charm user now. You know that you have to have some sort of answer for it. Unfortunately, this time there was nothing that was enough to stop the charm train. But yeah, here we go.
I think you just counter down. Don't show any moves. And
Toxie's still a great pick, but it's not strong enough to be your main charm counter. And yeah, when you have Sableye and then Powder Snow A9, yeah, that's just not a winning formula versus a charm A9 on the side of Caravel. So game number one, double down, going to the Cool Cats. They are one victory away from securing the title here, I believe. I think that Chicago CornDogs need to win 4 straight games here to go 12-10, and the Cool Cats would, with a win, will get to 12 points, mathematically eliminating the Chicago CornDogs. So pressure is on to Felici here.
This is going to be really challenging, as we saw the Sableye and the Alola Ninetales helping to account for the Medicham, as I talked about just before the matches started. But then when you introduce that Charm Ninetales, it puts so much pressure on your team. It pulls you in different directions. It forces you to have fewer and fewer options in terms of safe swaps and leads. Felici has to pick perfectly here to give himself a chance in game 2.
I think you bring the Tropius. Yeah, Tropius will have a much better matchup against Charm Ninetales than it does against the Powder Snow variant, and it had pretty good matchups in the back. So we'll see how Felici will adapt in this next game.
Absolutely, Chad. As we move into this final game here, not final game, excuse me, the next set of battles here. No, I honestly don't know the outcome. So that was a slip of the tongue. So it looks like we're going to get 2 points for every Cool Cats win and then 1 point for every CornDog win. As Holesome pointed out, I do see questions about the math in the chat. I just don't want to spoil any kind of excitement that chat has. So I just wanted to make sure everyone is aware of the rules. 2 points for each win for the Cool Cats and 1 point for the CornDogs. With that, let's get into the game and see how this all shakes out.
All right, this is big. Pressure is on. Caravel coming in with the Charm A9 once again. Works so well the first time. We see the Toxicroak, same lead as we had last time. Is this okay? Brings in the Tropius this time. Which,
oh my gosh!
Registeel in response. Oh man, that is not what you want to see here on the side of Felici.
This is
Leaf played a great move, but Registeel is a
man.
big, thick metal doorknob that does not care about your leaf blades.
Yeah, this is looking. I would have liked.
If we look at the back line here, what do you have to answer this charm now?
Well, you're looking to counter down, right, and throw a bunch of moves with Toxicroak.
Right. I think energy advantage is going to be your friend here. This is tough. This is tough.
Oh, this is sick.
You can just no shield everything here. Do you even like undercharge this move just to get additional take additional damage?
I think exactly. I think the big part is you just keep taking damage,
Denying your opponent farm, right?
Yeah.
I think you're really in the driver's seat here. Is Caravel here? I think we see an undercharge. Let's see. Yep. There's the undercharge. We're gonna try and farm down, get more energy, and allow for one more.
No,
Oh man, it still KOs into nice. All right, 2, 3,
He's pushing for another one.
5. Oh man, KOs just before he's able to get to the next one. I think if we had seen maybe a full undercharge there from Caravel, maybe would have been able to deny some farm and get to another move. Regardless, here we now have the Toxicroak with some energy going up against this Charm A9. Going to see a shield come out on the side of Caravel here. Really, what Felici needed here was to get these shields. So nice play. Should be able to get the second shield here, but not before Caravel gets to a gets to a ball.
So I'll tell you what, this gives Felici a chance, right? Because he's able to come in here against the Ninetales, do some damage. If he would have called the Sableye in the back, this would already, I think, be wrapped up.
If you double shield this, you're going to charm down the rest of the team, basically. You might get to a return, but you're basically dead at that point, and you've got a full health cast form ready to, just farm down the rest of the
HP. I think you shield and farm down, and you might be able to make it to. Oh man. Oh, I'm just gonna switch here.
Yeah, I think if you switch out, you guarantee the win, right?
Yeah. If this game's over.
There it is.
Well, let's see.
Well, okay. Let's just go through this. If you throw double foul play here, and let's just say that you KO, you are out of energy. I don't know if you can Shadow Claw down before you get Charm down. It'll be close. It'll be close.
I don't think you live this.
No.
Able to get to the weather ball at this point now. Even if you make it to the second foul play, you will die in one charm. I think this is over at this point, and I think what that means for the Cool Cats is that they are going to be getting 12 points here and mathematically eliminating the Chicago CornDogs, unless my math is wrong here. All right. Well, guys, there you have it. Cool Cats taking the 2-0 victory there, securing 12 points. The best that Chicago CornDogs can do is 11 points. That means that we have our champion here for the Go Team Up Pokemon Go Team Tournament World Championship, the Cool Cats here. Congratulations to the Cool Cats. Caleb, Chaotic Ace, CoachinaMum, and Aravel. Well done. You guys made it through the gauntlet. You round after round took down your opponents, showed valor, showed enthusiasm, showed strength and resilience. Congratulations to these battlers.
Absolutely. So much love for the Cool Cats, an incredible group of competitors, but every single team was so stacked in the World Championships here for the Go Team Up format. This was just incredible to watch all of these trainers just really duke it out. We saw ups and downs. We saw double downs really capitalize. We saw double downs completely neutralized, for example, with Caleb versus Burnamus, and then Caravel just really running away in the end there, leveraging that charm all over the Ninetales. So much strategy, so much planning, so many practice battles, close wins, and losses came up to this moment. It all boils down to the first ever GOTeamUp World Championship team. Again, congratulations to the Cool Cats making a name for themselves in the Pokemon Go PvP esport arena. This is massive. This is huge for this team. They should be extremely proud, and everyone who competed should be proud as well. As we see there, the final placings, Cool Cats at number 1. Man, it feels good to be number 1 if you're a Cool Cat. Number 2, the Chicago CornDogs, incredibly talented, a few plays away from being number 1 themselves, but they need to be just as proud of their placement here in the GOTeamUp Worlds. This was not easy. This was tons and tons of matches, 5 games apiece. This was qualifying and then working your way through the qualifiers, working your way through the semis to make it to the finals and arrive on this stage. They should be extremely proud. All 4 of those trainers, very, very competitive. And then the Elite 4, bringing it up here. At 3rd place, House Stark, Toshi, Valarash, and Arrow. Household names. We know them. We love them. Everybody just extremely talented competitors. Extremely well played.
Wow. What a tournament. What a tournament. Those double downs really, really coming into play there at the end for sure. All right. So I think at this point here, I think we're going to be transitioning here and maybe bringing on the winners. Is that right? All right.
Yeah, we are currently populating our Discord chat. We're going to hear from the winners, the Cool Cats here, Caleb Ping, the Chaotic Ace, KiengIV, and Caravel. So chat, if you have any questions, anything you want us to ask our new champions, let us know. Let's get some hype for the Cool Cats going in chat. Let's see some emotes. If you have some Caleb Ping emotes, you should share them. Toxicroaks, we'd love to see those as well. Let's get some hype going, you guys.
It's true. Those cats were too cool. Absolutely. Able to take the victory. All right. I think we're just waiting for one more individual here to join here in the Discord, and then we can go ahead and get started with this interview here, guys. But just really, what a fabulous set of battles. The one thing I do want to call out on behalf of the Elite Four is I think that they were a bit upset with their semifinal showing there at the end, losing it at the last minute, despite having the edge going into the last matchup. And Valarash said, hey, I'm going to come out with a vengeance here and secure that 3rd place. So again, congratulations to the Elite Four, to the Chicago CornDogs, and the 1st place victors of the tournament, the Cool Cats. All right, we are paging KiengIV here. KiengIV, if you can hear our voice right now, go ahead and join the Discord here so that we can get you moved into the voice chat.
Go Stadium just said, Pagine, KiengIV, Pagine indeed.
Pagine, yes.
KiengIV would love that. She loves her indeeds.
All right, well, should we proceed with a couple of questions here while we wait on KiengIV to join? Hey,
there she is.
There we go. Hello, hello, hello. I think we have everyone here now. All right. Speedy, we'll go ahead and just let you take it away here, man.
Absolutely. So I guess my first question is for our team captain there, Caleb. How do you feel about your team? Are you proud of your teammates? Are you proud of the job that you did? And how do you feel right now?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Super proud of my team. Even if we didn't make it to the final stage, I would have been very happy with our result. I mentioned this in my pre-interview with Burnobus, but we actually thought we were eliminated in Group Stage 1. We lost really hard to Ann Arbor Arbok right off the bat, and we actually thought we lost the other 2nd and 3rd matchups too. So, but somehow in the very end, we're like, wait, we could win this if we go like 3-2 in this matchup. And KiengIV clutched it for us. But even at that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm really proud of us for even making it to the world stage. I think all teams should be, because it's a very competitive stage, and just to even be a part of it is a huge honor. But you know, KiengIV helped us clutch it out, and we just kind of kept going on and on from there. We definitely had a point differential in Group Stage 2 as well, so we really had to tighten up there. But yeah, we definitely made it work, and super proud of my team, especially because when we first started team tournaments, we weren't really one of the top teams by any means. And I probably wouldn't even say like the 4 of us are like the top 4 battlers in the world or anything like that. But I think the support we have for one another, and the preparation and the teamwork we show in these tournaments really show that we could, you know, we're not scared to take on anyone.
All right, King, would you like to ask the next question?
Yeah, sure. So, what do you think was your most like challenging moments getting to in the last stage? Like, which were there any battles looking back on it that were really obviously, Caleb, I know you performed super well against your double down, but looking at your teammates or looking at your own battles, were there any that really stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you go into these matchups, for the most part, you're always looking like, wow, like this is going to be tough, no matter like what the situation is, because you're going against some of the best battlers in the world. And in a show 6 format, everyone usually has coverage for all their weaknesses. But for us, I think it's just throughout the tournament, whenever one of us performs poorly, we never, give anyone else a hard time. We're usually hardest on ourselves. We feel like we let each other down, right? And so I think those are the moments where we support one another and really bring each other up. And some days I'll tank, and then someone else will carry me, and then some days someone else will tank, and I'll help carry the team in that way. And I think that's being able to power through those moments as a team is what really kind of keeps us going and keeps us in a positive attitude throughout.
All right, Holesome.
Well, first off, congratulations, guys. I mean, I was here to cast the last 2 sets of battles, right, from the semifinals and the finals, and just great battles throughout. Caleb, obviously, Kieng mentioned it already, but I think it was incredibly clutch, you being able to take that 4-1 and deny those double down points. I think it really put you in a good position to have Aravel come in and secure it. My question is for Aravel. How do you feel at the end, right? You've got yourself in a good position that you need to win 2 battles, but you just saw someone go 1-4, and the same thing could happen to yourself. How did you feel going into those last sets of battles, knowing that you are the pivotal point to secure the victory for your team in the grand final stage here?
I will say that's not exactly how that played out. Caleb did actually play his match first, and I was the one who played second. So how it actually played out was I went 5-0 in my match. So by the time Caleb and I actually played, we already knew that.
Okay, so we got some reversal then. So all right, well, either way, the 5-0, I guess you were feeling very confident then to answer the question.
Yeah, some of the matches were pretty tough for sure, but I was very happy with the results. Sure.
Yeah, it seemed like the Charm A9 there was a bit of an MVP for you there for sure.
Yeah, that definitely worked out well.
Okay.
He didn't want Charm either. We had to like fight.
Yeah, I was
like 2 days committed to force the Charm.
Was absolutely unstoppable against that team.
You gotta run Charm. You have to run Charm.
Okay. Well, I have one more question here. This one's for Chaotic Ace. So Caleb was mentioning earlier how you guys almost felt like you were down and out. And, in the group stage scenario there, you were feeling like, oh, man, we might not even make it past this. Was there a specific turning point for you guys as a team that helped you rally, or where you felt like there was maybe a light switch that went on that helped catapult you guys further and further throughout the tournament?
Yeah, so that first group stage, I think I was the DD against Ann Arbor, and I went 1-4. So kind of like what Caleb was saying earlier, right? So we're definitely harder on ourselves than our teammates, and just that positivity around it, like, hey, you got it next round. Let's do some more practicing to get those other matches, right? Just really helps that mindset, because coming in 1-4 against a DD, you're going to get tilted for the other ones. And then, unfortunately, all my other matches that round 2 were all DDs against my opponents. So I was like, I need to at least get 2 or 3 wins. So just having that support and doing those testing with the team really helped out there.
All right.
Absolutely. My next question is for KiengIV. What is the best Pokemon in PvP, and why is it Toxicroak?
I mean, it's obvious. Croak, because it beats everything. Listen, it's literally a Tropius. Like, Caravel always tried to tell me, he's like, if you run that line, Tropius. But yeah, I tend to stress Caravel out a lot, I think.
He does. I will admit.
I had a question for Caravel as well. So Caleb is the team captain, but I've heard that Caravel is actually the coach, and that's with a big C, just like all of the cool cats. Caravel, what's the most difficult part about coaching your team here?
I'd say I'm more of a manager. Paulie's the coach. But like I go through, like, I was actually mostly building the teams for at least Heather and Carlos. Caleb likes to build his own and never accepts anything but fast feelings.
It's the best.
But yeah, otherwise, I mean, nothing too bad about it. We're all just giving input on each other's battles and helping each other out.
Most definitely. Kieng, do you have any other questions for our champions here?
Yeah, so given that you played through all this format, is there any changes that you would like to see them implement going forward?
I feel like Honestly, this format is really clean, and it's gone through some iterations. I think initially there weren't group stages, it was just single elimination right off the bat, and it was sets of 3. And I think, I'm really close to Palmer's up, and he definitely has some input on these formats. So he asked me for some input. I'm sure he asked a lot of other people too. And personally speaking, I think it's developed into a really great format. And I think having the double down is a very interesting aspect to the tournament as well that I haven't seen in any other tournaments. So me personally, I have no complaints. But I definitely encourage anyone watching to, if you have some friends or you can meet some people, I know there's a channel, Go Stadium, you could find new teammates and stuff to, give it a shot. Cause there's something really special about team formats in general, especially the GOTeamUp format. For me, it's just the most exciting aspect of PvP at the moment. I've had certain individual achievements in the past, but nothing really measures up to this. And I told my team this too. I'm not retiring, but I told them, like, if I'm retiring tomorrow, like, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with my entire Pokemon Go PvP legacy. Like, if we end on this, because for me, this is like the pinnacle.
Yeah, guys, incredibly impressive throughout. Honestly, all 4 of you guys obviously were having to be relied on in certain scenarios there. So that is one of the unique things about the team format, is that sometimes when you might be individually having challenges, you have your team pick you up. And I'm sure that helped grow a strong bond between all of you guys. And this is a moment that none of you can ever forget. So really, really congratulations to all of you guys here. One thing I wanted to kind of double down here on, Caleb, you mentioned that, other people can do this too, right? Other people can go join a team. If you've never really been familiarized here with the GOTeamUp format here with these team settings, it's a great opportunity for you guys to, maybe bring in some friends or even meet some new people to go ahead and get into the scene here and learn a lot, right? I'm sure that the 4 of you guys all picked up information from each other, and maybe from some of the extended teams as well, that helped build you to the battlers that you guys are today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
And definitely great games to all of the competitors throughout the tournament. Great games to Chicago CornDogs, but definitely all of our competitors throughout the tournament, and the ones that we didn't get to face. There's some big names out there, and just seeing them all collective in one tournament was a huge moment.
Absolutely. Well, I had like a combo question for you guys. So first of all, where can people find the Cool Cats if they want to follow this story, follow this team, follow this legacy you're building? Where can they find you? And the second question is, after you're done popping champagne and partying with the cats and celebrating your victory here, what's next for the Cool Cats?
So Heather actually made us a Twitter recently. So it's called @CoolCatsGames. On Twitter. Unfortunately, Cool Cats was taken. The Cool Cats HQ, Cool Cats Gaming, Cool Cats GG, like anything you think of, Cool Cats HQ, like everything, right? So we had to be really creative there. And if anyone owns any of those handles and haven't on Twitter in 20 years, please hit us up. I'll pay you like some money for it. But yeah, you can follow us on any updates for team stuff there. And then I'll start churning out more team format videos on my YouTube channel too. So that's just @CalebPayne on YouTube. So be sure to look out for that too, as we're doing more stuff with Silph factions as well too.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, guys,
Chaotic Ace.
congratulations once again. It's an incredibly impressive run. The battles themselves, incredibly impressive as well. I think I speak for everyone here in the panel as well as the chat. And congratulations, and I hope you guys are able to bask in the positivity of this achievement.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for casting too, and the entire Go Stadium staff for hosting the tournament and doing a lot of behind the work scenes, because behind the scenes work, sorry. I think a lot of people watching might not know, but there was a lot of work that went into this for the past pretty much month plus in the production, but as well as the organizing and visiting all these disputes and all these different things and keeping track of scores. So big shout out to them as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you for all the hard work.
Absolutely. Chat, if you had a favorite battler here from the Cool Cats team, make sure to follow them on Twitter as well to get daily updates, right? The Chaotic Ace, Aravel. If you search for Caravel, you might not get the same result you're expecting there. KiengIV as well. Make sure to follow all these battlers and follow their stories. Really, really upstanding competitors, very talented trainers as well. You can learn something from each one of these battlers here that we've seen on screen today. Again, congratulations to everybody. This is phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Any final comments here from the Cool Cats?
Yeah.
We are petitioning Caravel to change his official in-game name to Caravel. So any
He actually
pressure
just
people
agreed to
can,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, we
Nice.
tweet him every day
I
about
wouldn't-
that. So.
I wouldn't count on it.
We
feel
have
free to
confirmation. He
DM
just
him on
agreed to it.
Twitter, on Discord, on any
Yeah.
social media platform he has.
Just find him everywhere.
Pressure him. Yeah, we will find
I
him
would
and
not count on
name
it.
change. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, as Holesome said, thank you to Go Stadium. Thank you to the TOs. Thank you to Miss Mystic for putting on an incredible production here. Everything you see behind the scenes was powered by her. She does an excellent work. I'd like to thank my co-casters as well, Kieng and Holesome. Caleb, you said this was a kind of a bucket list achievement for you. This was a huge achievement for me to be in the booth with these extremely talented gentlemen and to join them on such a prestigious cast. I just am so grateful for the opportunity. And where can people follow you, Holesome and Kieng, if they want to learn more about you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Wholesome Pogo. That's Wholesome Pogo. Or you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Wholesome_. I typically stream 5 nights a week, Pokemon Go content plus some. And to Speedy's point here, guys, you know, we have a lot of the, not just the pinnacle of battlers, but pinnacle of production and casting crew. It's been an incredible journey, guys. I'm so thankful to be a part of it.
Yeah, and thank you, you two, and thank you, the Cool Cats, for demonstrating such amazing battles. It's always brings me such joy to watching such incredible gameplay, and obviously thank Miss Mystic and the rest of the Go Stadium team. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter or YouTube at Pogo King, or on Twitch at KiengIV.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Twitch at Speediest Chief 2 or on Twitter at Chief2Speediest. And with that, I heard you guys wanted more team format hype. We're actually going to queue up a raid here shortly to our friend in the community, Jiggly Dad. He's talking about Specialist Cup, which is a brand new format. It's different than the GOTeamUp format. It's based on typings, but it's a very fun format. I actually participated in this with my Mazer teammates, and we won the first one, which is really, really hype. So if you are looking for more team format opportunities, this is a good one to participate in. We're going to queue that up, and if anyone has any final thoughts or goodbyes, hear them.
Thanks for hanging out, chat. Always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, everybody. Take care.